early on into the adventures, you started to explore the central building, the large towered complex in the middle of the tree itself. At which point, a surprise attack on the familiar. Oh, and somebody just bailed the fuck out. Of course they did. That would be Blinkshaw's Discord
I'm here.
probably cutting. There, he's back. All right, so a surprise attack on Balin's familiar, which caused you all to momentarily retreat, only to huddle up.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear us.
Yeah.
All right.
Not sure if you could hear me, but I want for you guys to huddle up for the creature that released said attack to creep over the edge of the tower and give you all a taste of the same. A scuffle ensued, in which point Phil Dennis was taken hostage, and you all explained that you were here to find a trinket of some kind, which the dragon pretty much demanded. You give it to me, I might give you your friend back. And that was the arrangement as it was seen fit. From there, you all have explored throughout the rest of Thunder Tree. Meanwhile, Phil Dennis was paid a visit by a small squirrel, which provided him some healing before scampering off and find the rest of you, and you realize this squirrel was actually a very elderly man named Redoff, a druid who apparently was living here in Thunder Tree and just keeping it under his watchful eye, making sure that things did not skew one way or the other too much in favor of nature or disaster. While your progress in the town has been all right, it hasn't been. You haven't found what you have been looking for. You have certainly found a few things of interest. And last but not least, you found the cultists shit, that Rudolph had mentioned. And after some minor, I want to say scuffle, but really it was more like a debate, trying to convince the dragon which of you were here to actually help it, the dragon just said, screw it, I'm taking all the rewards, you all can settle this amongst yourselves, and you mostly did. You attacked the cultists, killed 2 of them, the leaders supposedly escaped, flying off into the distance with a potion of some kind, and the others just promptly said, screw this, we're not dying for this, this is not our problem, this is not our fight, we're not getting paid nearly enough for this. That is where we are coming back to. You all are kind of sitting in this room after the cultists themselves have either surrendered or the leader having flown off. You apprehended all of their weapons and done with them as you saw fit, and they left with, I believe Blinkshaw actually handed out a couple of gold coins to each of them just to make sure that they weren't leaving totally empty-handed and they wouldn't be totally screwed looking for their work in the future. What is the next plan of action?
I think the dragon said that we had a day to find it, correct?
I don't remember the dragon mentioning any timetable.
Oh.
In fact, the thing that the dragon has mentioned to Phil Dennis is specifically that as long as you keep teaching me magic, I'll keep letting you live. And that is the only timetable that anybody has been given, and that is, so long as you keep teaching me things, I'll keep letting you stay here.
So, we're shortly rested, and I know we still have 2 buildings left to look at.
Well, you did not take a rest after dealing with the cultists, no.
Oh, we didn't short rest?
No, you did not. You took a rest after you dealt with the dragon, but that was the only rest you had. Okay.
Are we going to rest, or let me see where our sheets are at. I don't think we necessarily need to.
I don't think we need to. We soundly defeated them. We used a couple of spell slots that you used the spider staff thing, but I think we're good.
Yeah, I can't recharge the spider staff. That just happens at the end of the day. But I'm keeping track of the charges. So I think we're good we're good to walk back out, and at least 2 of the buildings I kind of remember which ones we haven't touched yet, and as far as we know, the only threats that we know of at least are the little twig monsters left. I mean, Rudolph doesn't think there's any more spiders. We feel like we got all of the zombies in the barracks. Well, the dragon got them. So, of known threats, I think we can safely assume, not safely assume, but we can assume that there's not too many unknown ones.
Yeah, I think we should probably expedite searching at this point over other things.
As you were all kind of standing around, there's just kind of a pleasant knock at the front door over here. Just up.
Oh, pleasant.
I got it. I'll go over and answer the door.
So you walk over, you see that this door is still it has a brace like over the front of it, which prevented you guys from getting in the first place. But with no effort at all, you could flip this aside and open the door. And as you do so, you see on the other side, Bliss is just kind of standing there with his hands behind his back, like, "Where'd you guys go?"
Oh.
I let him in.
Oh, Blisk.
He kind of like saunters in and looks over, looks into the room.
You want to fight without me? That's not nice. What they have on them?
I tell him he is the smart goblin. He ran away from the dragon.
Was there ever any doubt?
Balin kind of looks at Blisk appraisingly. I'm not even going to roll for it. I'm just going to assume. I'm like, so, what'd you find out there?
Bliss kind of looks up.
Nothing.
Do I have to even roll an insight? Or like,
you have to roll an insight, yes. Let's see. I didn't say it was a difficult check, but even with that...
I also absolutely do not believe him.
Yeah, no, even with a 9, you absolutely see that he's hiding something. You know, Blisk, it is not a difficult check.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Even having to roll, I'm like, all right. Blisk, remember what we talked about? How everyone shares everything?
He kind of looks back and forth.
And what do you have to share?
He has a good point.
No, the dragon took our shares of that. But
yeah, the dragon took the chest. That's gone.
Need I remind you, Bliss, that you are currently in debt to me with constitutional bankruptcy?
I tell Blisk the only thing we got from that fight was the negative gold that I gave out. He's welcome to share with that as well, or I can absorb his share.
He looks at you somewhat confused by that, like he doesn't quite understand the concept of negative.
You give him.
And as he starts to scratch his head, he kind of turns it over.
Fine, I found a stupid necklace.
Like, I'm not even mad. Balin just like has like a massive shoulder slumping sigh of relief, like, oh, thank friggin' God. Or gods in this case. Okay, we found the necklace. Can I see it?
Yeah. So he lifts the necklace out, and as he kind of shows it to you, it is what it was described to Blinkshaw in the past. It is a fine gold necklace that is apparently managed to avoid any tarnishing with age, and set in the bottom of it is a very nice emerald.
Blinkshaw, what do you think that's worth?
Does my mining skills, do they help me appraise it? Assuming it's not magic.
With your dwarven eye, just the metal material and the craftsmanship that went into it, probably about 200 gold pieces.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, is it nice enough to buy Phil Dennis's life back?
Yeah.
Blisk shrugs.
I mean, I wouldn't pay that much for him.
Well, dragons aren't as smart as the smartest goblin. All right. So now we've got this. Do we go hand this thing over and barter? Actually, Charles, do you think we should ask Phil Dennis if we should show up with the heirloom, or if he thinks the dragon's just going to go back on his deal?
So yeah, Phil Dennis, you get a message from. Actually, let me double check. Are you within range? I think you're within 100 feet of Charles still.
120 away.
Oh
no, you're not. All right. Well, After a moment, Charles comes skittering outside of the house because he knows that he needs to be within range. And you get a message that said, "Yeah, the sneaky one wants to ask if you think the dragon's gonna kill you once we give him the emerald thing."
What's the crap venom thing? I think it was venom
Yes.
thing. What's his demeanor like right now at this moment?
He's still paying pretty close attention to you as you're attempting to teach him. I believe you moved on to Find Familiar was the spell you were attempting to teach him next.
I just figured he might be like pissed or huffy because of the incident that just happened.
Well, he's kind of stowed some new treasure within his hoard, so any annoyance was probably abated slightly by the fact that his hoard is increased in size without actually having any trouble whatsoever. Assuming the situation sorts itself out. He's currently in the middle of trying to get the basics of performing Find Familiar down, and he's even now he's attempting to do it, very elongated. Like he's attempting to perform it as a ritual, assuming that it's something that you have attempted to teach him, and he is like he has it down pat. He has everything but the actual manipulation of the magic down, which may or may not be a scary thought for you.
Please. I guess I'll respond then, like... He's a little busy. I don't entirely know if a necklace would buy my freedom, would say. He seems to take rather interest of me. A little too much.
I'm assuming all this is going to Blankshaw.
Sure, let's go with that. I was curious what Charles' translation
Send it
would
to the
be.
sneaky one.
Well,
Send
Charles
it to the
can talk
sneaky
to
one.
them.
I'm picking my friend up, like, at the moment.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Charles can't talk to them. You have to message yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just message Blankshaw.
Actually, I was measuring that out too. The only person who is within range for you to message is Blinkshot and Clay. If you try to message anybody else, they're outside of your range.
I think it's 150.
It's 120.
Then I will simply pass that info along to Balin, because it is more difficult for me to chat right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Blakeshaw's message response is snoring, as apparently he found a vial of whiskey. Okay. So Balin's kind of just like mulling it over in his head. Well, he apparently, at least according to Phil Dennis, doesn't want to give our little gnome friend up, which means now we either have to decide if Phil Dennis is wrong or we want to rescue him from a dragon.
Either way, I would still like to see the creatures scared off. I have no desire for a dragon to remain in the Thunder Tree.
No, we didn't either. We're on board with that. It's just a matter of, getting things that would scare it besides the five of us. And, all right. Well, we've got bait. We have a hostage in reverse. We know where it is and we know it's distracted. Are we ballsy enough to try and take on a green dragon in its lair?
Yes. No.
Right up kind of looks back and
No,
forth.
not right now.
I will do what I can, but fighting is not my expertise.
Now,
I
we
think
tried and got destroyed.
What got destroyed?
The party got destroyed by
Well, that's
the dragon an hour ago.
that's when he had to jump on us. Now, we're still going to probably get destroyed, but I'm just trying to think of a way that we could do it, at least in a way that we can scare the shit out of it, maybe run it off, or at least get Phil Dennis out of there in one piece.
I will not be the third brother to die in your group.
Raven kind of looks over at Clay for a moment, and then he looks back at Valen.
Well, it's not that big of a deal, right off. They're apparently a very big family.
That's unusual.
Hey, Blisk, what's more important to you?
The gold.
But let me compare the two gold options. Going back to face that dragon.
No.
But then you get, how much was in that? Actually, let me check my loot table so I can remember how much was in that box. Was it like 500 gold or 200 gold?
And I don't think it was anywhere near that much.
It had all the coppers in it. I'm just trying to remember.
There was less in that box than that amulet was worth.
I think it was 500 coppers in the box.
It was enough that you never finished counting it. It was taking too long.
On the coppers, yeah. But can you ballpark what it was in gold and silver?
It was.
I'm looking back. Trying to find it.
It was 250 silver and gold mixed, and then there was twice as much. There was over twice as much copper of that in that box as well.
Oh, so
you
it
never
wasn't
figured out the actual copper.
It wasn't 250 gold. Like
no, it was
okay.
it was less than that. It was a total of 250 silver
so it's probably
and gold
100
mixed.
plus 300, or 100 plus the $200 heirloom, gold heirloom. I'm just trying to see if this number is even big enough to tempt Blisk with.
I have to roll a persuasion on that one, because even with that much money being thrown around, Blisk has given you a look like,
yeah, and that's a fucking dragon.
Yeah, I'm willing to roll the persuasion as soon as I think of what the number that wouldn't be a lie is, because that, in my mind, at least lowers the difficulty. So I'm going to ballpark it around 100 gold in that chest, 200 gold for the heirloom, and it's a dragon. He has to have a hoard there somewhere. We haven't found his hoard yet. I'm going to say at least another 100 gold in there. So like, or 500 gold, or for your share of 500 gold.
yeah, make your.
I will, yeah.
And this will be a persuasion check, not a deception check, because you're being earnest in this.
Yeah, they're both horrible on my sheet, so it doesn't matter.
Bliss kind of looks very hard for a moment, like his face scrunches up as he gives an expression that can only be a goblin trying to do math.
Can I sweeten the pot and say, and we'll take the emerald out of that heirloom and put it in with the ruby on your silver sword.
But we have to kill a dragon.
We don't have to kill it. Right off said we just have to scare it away.
Okay, do we know how to do that?
I don't know, you're the scary one. Do you have any plans? How would you scare a dragon away?
Well, scaring goblin away, beat the crap out of it. If it's smart, he runs away.
Yeah, but can we beat the crap out of a dragon? I mean, from up above, if we... Huh. Now I'm afraid to say my plan out loud. What if... I'm going to do it anyway. Obviously, I'm buying time until Blinkshaw gets back, because we're going to need him here one way or the other. If we can get the jump on him from above, I can do the same thing I just did to the cultists and web this shit out of the area he's in. Phil Dennis will probably get stuck in it if he doesn't know it's coming, but he will. That'll give us a few seconds to just unload on the motherfucker, and hopefully we can take off. It's not much, but it's the only jump we've got.
Blinkshaw does not think that we should get involved in fighting a dragon right now. If we want to come back and attack it with some other help, that sounds better.
I second that.
That's what we all wanted originally, but if we can't get Phil Dennis free with this heirloom, then he's a goner.
Gotcha. Then we go all in. Sounds good.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, do we try to give him the heirloom and then get double crossed and hope that everyone involved survives to come back again? Or do we just go with the... All right, so we're going to try and give it the heirloom instead of just going after it now in our weakened state.
Yes, and do not group up.
Right, and everyone stand very, very far apart. Like, imagine the world was made of hexagons. Everyone be at least 6 hexagons apart.
Bliss blinks a few times.
Oh,
I did actually say that.
if we go fight the dragon, I'm gonna pretend to be dead again. Because dragons don't kill things that are already dead.
Yeah, but they also don't not breathe poison in the area that the pretending to be dead goblin is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there either. You go knock on the front door. I'm gonna go behind the house.
All right. Well, here comes the best question, because no one really likes it when I speak to them. Who's gonna be the bearer? How about I look at Charles? I'm like, technically you can't die, buddy.
So Charles runs out of the house. And
That's
you just
fine,
get a
look up what
message
he's
from
saying.
Dennis that just says, the sneaky one trying to make me talk to the dragon. I think he wants me to be the stupid one, the one that gets breathed on. I don't want to be the one that gets breathed on.
Blake Shaw explain to Phil Dennis that Charles doesn't necessarily. Charles can't die. We'll bring him back as soon as we find a brazier.
He's saying mean things. He says I can't die. I can die. You can bring me. I don't want to die. Damn it! I don't want to die, Phil Dennis. Tell him not to have to die.
Jeez.
And then via Blake Shaw with message that Charles can't hear. I'm like, it's just gonna sting for a minute before he even comes back. I kill Archimedes twice a day.
Blingshaw can't message Phil Dennis. He can only respond when Phil Dennis messages him.
Oh right, damn it! I forgot this is only one way. Sorry.
I mean, I'll send message to Blinkshaw, of course. I can let him know that we're ready to do the exchange, and hopefully he'll take me with him.
I would request that Blinkshaw say, we would rather Charles do the exchange in case he double crosses us and we're nowhere to be smogged.
Riddle kind of looks back and forth.
You know, if you wanted to surprise the dragon, you could always pretend some of you were killed fighting the cultists.
Eh. Well, he knows I'm not dead. I'm too clever.
Does
All
Alright, I am logging back in on my computer now.
Okay. Yeah, Bliss can definitely pretend to be dead, like the best of them. Clay obviously doesn't want to be involved.
I was already gonna do that, but okay.
All right.
But every scenario I think out loud ends up with me and Blinkshaw talking to the dragon, and I don't like any of that.
Yeah, Clay, I think you should be the one that talks to the dragon and convinces it.
As a player, I don't mind. As a character, no.
Consider this your epic final maneuver as a player.
Whoever would talk to that dragon runs the highest risk of being breathed on. Who has the best odds with that?
You're not helping.
Clay. I conveniently forget about my poison resilience.
Yeah, and my dex, and my dex proficiency that I failed the first time anyway.
It was not a dex save, it was a con save.
Yeah.
Oh, then it's definitely not me. Good.
Was it acid or was it poison?
It was poison.
Poison.
Oh, it was acid.
Yeah, that's still Clay and Blinkshaw. I mean, you guys are the beefcake or the meat shields, not the beefcakes. The meat shields.
I mean,
I'll take the
self-claimed.
Beefcake.
Beefcake.
Yeah, Clay, you are the best one. You have the best chance of convincing the dragon, and you have a strong health and AC pool.
But
So-
it's a dragon.
You got this, buddy. All we need to do is get Phil Dennis and head out.
Yeah, we have to give it the heirloom, get Phyllis and get out. And you don't have to say too much. You just have to look pathetic and pious and whatnot, like the cultists did. Give the thing over. And then I know you really want to get out of here without a fight, which the dragon will sense and clearly respect, because you're not gonna double cross him unless he double crosses us. So put that quick moving tongue of yours to work, and also all that weightlifting you did to be able to survive Dragon's Breath.
He does a little bit of flexing when you say that.
Me, Radolf, and Blisk will take to the shadows and be dead.
Okay, just no fight.
I ask, Balin, how many charges of that spider walk do you still have?
Of the climb or the web?
Climb.
Well, they both use the same number of charges.
No, web's 2.
That's
Climb
what
is
I
1.
mean. You had 10 total charges. You used 3 on spider walk, 2 on spider climb. You still only have 5 charges. They don't each have 10 charges total.
I know, that's what I was getting to. I was just looking up my thing to see. Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, I mean, at most, I can do a couple spider climbs, maybe 1 spider climb and a web. But I mean, if the whole thing, this thing only holds so much magic, and if we overuse it, there's a chance it's going to be destroyed.
All right.
Oh, that's a fair point. Spider climb is concentration, so you can only have it on one person at a time.
Oh right, yeah, we screwed up last time. So
that was something that we messed up last time. Yeah,
Okay.
that's something
yeah,
you do
I didn't realize that magic items used your concentration, but yeah.
Sounds. Never mind then.
And so is web too, isn't it? Isn't it web concentration?
Yeah, that was the joke that if you had been hanging on the inside of the wall, you would have fallen into your own web.
Oh,
but you were
which is
standing on the wall, so
Classic
that didn't
Balin. Yeah, so I mean, I can do one or the other. But like I said, if you guys are going to greet him in his lair, the best I can do is maybe I can climb my way up there and web the room, while you guys are down here. Like basically what I did to the cultists, but with much less time and only in the case of a double cross.
Sounds good. And you can shoot because you have a ranged weapon, right?
Yeah.
So you can shoot from up there if you need to as well, instead of webbing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm saying I think if I can get a spot where you guys aren't and it is, that's probably going to be our best bet, or like at least web its wings so it can't like fly around and blow and murder us again.
Yep.
All right, that's the best we can do.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Yes.
All right, I'll kind of turns and makes his way towards the door.
I wish you the best of luck.
Whoa. You don't have to fight, but you're not just gonna walk away here. You gotta at least stick around and heal us or something.
I'll be keeping an eye out.
He points up.
Watch the trees.
As you stare at him, his form kind of shifts back down and resumes a very familiar gray squirrel that just kind of scampers off the tree into the grass.
I turn to Blisk and I'm like, we're never gonna see him again.
You wouldn't see me again.
Well, no, you're going all the way up.
Yeah. How'd you talk me into this, Rygold?
I want to hug him, but I hug him.
So you hug him. Make me a perception check.
Hold on.
So there's a moment where you feel like a hand kind of run along almost towards your coin pouch, but then it kind of stops for a second.
No.
He doesn't hug you back, but he does not attempt to steal from you.
That's great.
Now, do I steal from him? No.
You can make a sleight of hand check as well.
No, I'll wait till later when he trusts me and he's sleeping.
Oh.
Okay.
The things that Balin says, and I'm not sure if he says them out loud or not, because Balin is Balin.
Just in case something's going on in the background, I'm watching for Balin, and I'm making sure the two don't steal from each other.
You can see hands kind of creep across the other person, but neither one of them quite gets to where the money appears to be.
I really just think that at this point, Blisk and I are just sharing each other's carrying capacity. Okay.
Let's go.
All right, Frozen Cloaks, let's go heroically do our thing.
Blisk adjusts his, like,
Yeah, heroic. Shame these don't protect against things like poison.
and he stumbles out of the room and starts to creep along.
Blisk, you gotta be brave and rich or poor and alive. And to you, I feel like that is a pretty easy decision.
I managed rich and alive and a coward for a long time, okay?
You're playing with you're playing the big with the big leagues now.
I just really wish that we had time for a long rest because I have protection from poison, but it is certainly not prepped.
I mean, do we know that Phil Dennis is teaching you magic?
I can't remember if this is something that Phil Dennis has mentioned or not.
I don't think so.
No, he has conveniently kept this a secret.
Okay.
Tell
Well, I mean, I
Charles-
would too.
Ask Phil Dennis if he thinks we have time to rest up so that we can make sure to get him out there safely.
I think we can deliver it on the morrow.
Charles got huge. I'll respond to Blink Shot with the message. I'm teaching him the very minor spells. That's the reason why I'm alive. I don't know how long this will be.
Gotcha.
Roll me a sleight of hand check here. This time, Phil Dennis.
Alright. Four.
So yeah, as you cast this last spell, there's a moment where Venom Fang kind of stops focusing on what he's doing and kind of looks at you.
What are you saying to them? Have they found my trinkets yet? Did they deal with those cultists? Or do I have no worshippers?
I know that they found something that's similar to the necklace. And I believe it is it.
Well,
Venom Fang kind of stands up to his full height, stares off to the top of the tower.
I guess I should go and get that, shouldn't I?
Wings start to flap, and as you all start to creep along the trail here, you see the massive green form of Venom Fang start to sweep up out through the top of the tower. His head kind of like lolling up and staring off into the direction that you are all in previously.
I separate a little bit from.
Yeah,
everyone
Blisk
else.
immediately dives behind this tree and starts to camper along.
Nope, this is not gonna end well. Nope.
And he runs up to this tree, and you see he starts starting to shimmy up it.
I stayed nearby, but not in the breath range.
Yeah.
The radius.
So after a moment, Venom Fang kind of sweeps down, dropping to just
Sorry, I'm
into
on
a.
mute. Sorry, before he lands, because I was saying this, but I was on mute. As we see him fly up and like coming towards us, at the side of my mouth, I'm like, "We're boned. Screw the plan. Just start groveling, and then we split, and then we spread out."
He hovers in the air just a moment here, kind of looking down on the group.
Well, have you found what I was wanting? I've been waiting.
My mic is muted, that's why you guys aren't responding. So, I assume Clay has the necklace at this point.
Actually, Blisk had the necklace.
Oh.
Did he hand it to Blinkshaw? To praise?
Blinkshaw looked at the necklace. I'd never heard any line that he was giving it up or that Blinkshaw was taking it.
Go, guys.
Yeah, I had assumed that Clay had it just because we were talking about Clay being the one that talks to the dragon.
And to be fair, I think Blisk might have offered it once he realized that the one holding it had to be the one to talk to the dragon. And we would have pointed that out if we realized.
Just to keep things moving smoothly, sure. Anybody who would have had that anybody who would have been in this position would have the necklace. So presumably Clay has the necklace.
It's the hot potato.
Okay, sorry, I was on the phone. What's up? Do you have the necklace?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and Clay's right hand, which his sword is now sheathed, holds out the necklace, and his dragon name's Venomfang, right?
Yes. That is the name that he has given Phildennis, and Phildennis has passed along.
Okay. Clay kind of grovels and tries to be very respectful to the dragon, mostly out of fear, and says, "Oh, great Venomfang, we have found your necklace that you have charged for locating. I hope this suits your needs."
His wings tuck, and he kind of slams down on the ground in front of you, moving very serpentine-like as he just steps over to you. His hand reaching down, and two talons kind of sliding into your grasp to pull away the necklace, leveling it up and dangling it in front of his eyes. And there's almost a gleam in them as he looks into the emerald.
This is almost worth your lives. I might just let you go.
Well, my great and powerful dragon, if you let us go with our friend, this will not be the only treasure I see from us.
When you mention that, his hand kind of curls around it, and he looks down at you.
I'm afraid I'm changing that deal. Your friend is staying here with me. He's proven himself far too valuable to just let go.
If he does stay with you, we are at a disadvantage in bringing you back even greater treasures.
That is not my problem.
Does Charles hear him say that?
Oh yes, Charles hears all of that.
Okay.
But then the only message you get is, "He's gonna keep you. He's gonna keep
God.
you. Dragon's gonna keep you."
I'll send message to Balin, and I will say, "Rescue me with that spider climb, damn it!"
You don't know. Do you even know about the spider climb?
I gave it to him, the staff, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember if I'm just thinking of okay, that's fine. Moving on.
Firefly is like, "Hey, dude, it's not watching you. Now's the time to get the fuck out of there."
I have a proposal to make to the dragon.
Make your proposal.
Oh, great and powerful dragon, surely you must see that having agents in the field to go and collect valuable treasures is more worth to you than a single gnome who can come back at any time at your pleasure.
I am liking magic. It's worth far more than any trinkets you could give me. A teacher.
And as he waves his hand in front of you, there's a moment where there's just a mote of light that starts to dance between his fingertips before he crushes it.
Oh, God damn it, Phil Dennis.
I am sure, O mighty one, that there can be a deal worked out where he can teach you and still be a service. For he has you both have long lives, and there's much to learn.
And risk him dying out there. That would be foolish.
Do I get anything back from Phil Dennis during this conversation?
Would you say something?
Yeah, when you messaged me, my reply was like, "Dude, he's double crossing us, keeping you. This is the only time you're not going to have him standing over you. Maybe now's the time you get the fuck out of there. Like, run for it."
I'll respond. I'm blocked. He blocked at our entrance. I see stairs. I don't know if I remember this last session.
The stairs go up about 15 feet, but the tower itself goes up 40 feet. The stairs have crumbled down, and most of that is the rubble that has been used to bar the door.
Shit. Can I see if there's another way out of here?
You can make a perception check.
Can you transmute the wall into water or something?
Huh. Takes an hour.
Well, as far as you can tell, you could climb up through the roof. The tower is open on the top. If there's a way for you to move upwards, if you could clear the rubble out fast enough, that might take some time, especially considering you're not in a particularly strong. You could go through the door. There are also several windows that are just very small divots, almost like arrow slits. But even you aren't small enough to go through
Damn
those.
it. If only I had that scroll. What if I grease myself really good?
You could certainly try. Whether or not you'll succeed is always up in the air.
I'll send a message to Balin. Or Blinkshaw. There, Balin. Shit.
What are you sending me?
There's no way out. I'm pretty much stuck in here.
Alright, I'm gonna try and do what you said before and sneak over there again. Did you see my stealth roll earlier?
I did see your stealth roll earlier.
Okay.
As of right now, Venom Fang's attention appears to be pretty much locked on Clay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and do this little 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2, 3. Around like there to hide in the brush. And do you want me to just move at my regular movement or just keep going as you guys talk? I'm just trying to sneak over there now and get him out.
It would take you a couple of turns to get over there. Meanwhile, Venom Fang is still kind of bearing down on Clay.
Our deal has been changed. You and your friends are free to go.
I'm trying to think of something I can use to, prolong this conversation.
He seems to be staring at you intently. But as you look at him, you see his tail. When he landed, it was relatively stationary, but the longer that this conversation is going on, is very slowly starting to sweep back and forth, with the occasional thwap on the ground.
That's not a good sign. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Clay is quite scared of dragons, so he's going to be very grateful for him letting us go. And there's no emphasis there. I'm just Clay, thank you for letting us go, and we will return with more treasures in your worship and glory. Oh, mighty dragon, or some odd other.
Wait.
His hand kind of reaches down and he leans closer. And as he leans closer into you, he's not looking at your face. He appears to be looking at your waist.
That blade. That's magical. Hand it over.
Give me a second, I'm waiting for Balin to type out something.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I was just didn't interrupt the scene, but that seemed to go like another 6 seconds, so I moved up to the base of the tower. I'm gonna try and go behind it too, but my goal here is to cast spider climb on myself, run up, run down, pick up Phil Dennis, and run up and out again, and that's all gonna be it. If I'm out of sight of the dragon and I can dash,
Are you even strong enough to carry Phil Dennis?
I do have like a 10 or 11 strength. I'm gonna give it a shot.
He is a gnome.
He isn't. I mean, he doesn't weigh very much. My question is, if you. All right.
I weigh 40 pounds, not including gear.
Yeah, not including gear being because well, you also don't carry very much because you're a gnome and you don't have your strength is abysmal.
It's
Uh,
all money weight.
Yeah. All right. So while you're doing that, Venom Fang is kind of rearing his head back, and the same hand that the amulet is kind of wrapped around one of his talons, he kind of holds it out expectantly for your sword, Clay.
Clay responds with, "Surely, O mighty one, you do not want to deprive your agents of valuable assets that have proved useful in claiming treasures."
What you found isn't worth what you have.
But there's many great and powerful blades and other magical.
One chance.
Okay, he hands it over.
All right. So it takes you actually kind of a moment to unhook the sheath from your waist. These things are set in a way where they're not supposed to come undone. And as you kind of hand it over, his hand kind of grasps around it and he holds it up.
This has been a very productive day. Well, be gone with you.
And he starts to turn himself around.
Clay looks around to everyone else.
Can I?
Looking for a lead.
At this point, Phildinis and Balin, you are on top of the wall.
Okay.
I,
Yeah, and everyone
tell
else
him
is
to
just
jump.
blink shell.
Yeah,
I
I just got the
will
message
lower rope
from.
as I run down.
I just got the message from Phildinis, and so I know that they are in the process of escaping. So I call to the dragon and I tell him, "Oh, magical weapons is what you're interested in? I know where we can get more of those, but."
Why
There's
did
the
you
problem.
even roll a save? I wasn't even going to question it, but now with that, like...
I honestly, I thought I had to. I was trying to get out of the way, but yeah. So I'm like, okay, that hurt my shoulder. I'm trying
So
to
you are
grab the
30
rope.
feet up the wall, Balin. When the moment comes, you realize... So Phildinis is a lot heavier than you thought, and the magic that is holding you to the wall is having a hard time keeping you up and Phildinis up. And it's the hard decision of either you have to drop Phildinis and leave him to his fate, or you're gonna fall off the wall yourself.
I tell him to jump. Just jump. Just jump.
I
Let go.
mean,
Jump.
he has the rope. I will, but he has the rope. Don't forget.
Because we're on the other side of the wall, right? On the outside.
I thought you were
the-
climbing, like you were climbed down in with the spider climb, and you were carrying him back up.
I did, but I declared as I was running up. I have a length of rope. I'm running that down just for this occasion.
I had not seen that. I had not seen that change of plan. I just saw I have a rope. I had not seen you change your mind.
I said it at when I was describing my thing in the original plan. I hope I wasn't muted. But if there is no rope and I only have that option, then I am going to do it. My wizard master says, I guess, and let him fall unless I can if I can recast spider climb on him.
Where are we at? Are we on the inside or on the wall itself?
We're on the inside running up, I think.
Well, no, I believe you were at the. No, you had already gotten to the top. You hadn't even. Yeah, no, you were at the top. At this point, you'd be trying to go back down.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Yeah, if we're at the top and we're trying to go back down to the fields, let's just jump.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's actually better. The rope was only on the inside anyway.
Yeah.
Which I will try and take with me if I can. If not, I'll let it go.
So you both jump. Yeah, it's a jump. It's a 40-foot drop, but with Featherfall, you can just float very peacefully down to the bottom without any issue.
Can I land acrobatically?
You can choose to.
Jesus Christ. Oh, good. Balin's rolls are back. 9, 1.
Yeah, no, this is one where you attempt to roll, and you just kind of like, your knee lands wrong, and you kind of twist it as you roll over. You don't take any damage, but like as you stand back up, there's the kink in the side of your knee where it's like, that was not the smartest thing to do ever. This is what you get for showing off. Classic Balin, this is what you get for showing off.
I'll never make that admission. But okay, so we came down over here.
So meanwhile, Venomfang is kind of turned back around and is looking you over intently, his eyes kind of wide, almost cat-like as he's like trying to search you out, like he's trying to find the thing that has some value on you.
Unfortunately, it is not on me. I wish I had a weapon that powerful. But have you ever heard of the what are the mine names?
Wave Echo Cave.
Wave Echo Cave. Yeah, the Wave Echo Cave mines.
No. Why?
these are the mines where dwarves and gnomes of legend would craft magical weapons. We have found those mines and found the guardian who prevents the forge from being used.
His head kind of lolls back, his eyes a little wide.
A cave. A cave. Magical gear. Where?
So I let him know that I am no map maker, but I will draw the best map that I can to point him in the right direction. It is a place that isn't even around civilization, so he does not have to worry about other humans coming to attack him. And he can hole up in the cave if he needs to.
So this conversation has bought you guys another minute, by the way. As this is going on, Valen and Fildenus, you have approximately a minute to do what you would be doing next.
Okay, what does Blinkshell respond to the message?
It's if you can talk, simultaneously.
Oh, he has to whisper, that's right.
Yeah, so I don't respond to anything to the message. I just know that it happened.
There is no response.
What was that?
There is no response. That is what I'm telling them.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I'm looking at Leo like,
There's no
yeah, I'm
response.
with you. We can't leave everyone behind, though.
Fuck. Let's just hide for now.
You can't hide for shit.
It's better than being out in the open.
For you, it's the same thing. It's at least... I'm looking at the map right now. We'd really have to like sneak out. Like, there's no way. He's not like limited to this map, so that's not going to be easy. He's going to be pissed when you're there.
Quick question
Unless he
about
comes-
message. Quick question about message. Can I kind of turn on my response as part of another conversation, or do I have to like do anything to do the response?
So the response only requires you to physically whisper. But the whisper is something that only you can hear.
Okay, so I'd have to be standing there, and all of a sudden, in front of Venom Fang, I start whispering.
Yeah, it's more like moving your mouth. You don't actually have to. Like it's not audible to anybody else other than the person who you are replying to.
Okay, but I couldn't be like as part of the conversation to Venom Fang saying, "So Venom Fang, as I draw you this map in the earth, and you pay attention to me," as the response. But really, I'm actually talking to Venom Fang. That doesn't work.
Unfortunately, due to the magic of the spell, it would prevent the response from actually returning.
Yep, makes sense.
But Charles can hear it. I'll speak to Charles. I can't really. I don't know how loud this guy is, or both of them. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't hear a response from Blinkshot about message.
The Blink Dot telling him what the mine is. You know, the one you found that you had Gundren for? The thing, the place with the dwarf and you guys were gonna get a whole bunch of profit for? Yeah, he's just telling the dragon where it is.
Oh, that fuck sucks. I thought Balin, he's telling him where Echo Wave is. Echo Cave. I guess it's hide behind the tree. He's gonna find us, I can see that.
Oh, and also, he took Clay's sword.
And he took Clay's sword. Do I remember what was in this room to the left of the tower?
You guys never went to the room to the left of the tower.
Oh, I thought we did.
No. So this Venom thing is just kind of watching you as you draw lines in the dirt.
Yeah, so my map making is horrible, and I am intentionally going to make this like not give away every single detail about the map or about the cave, but point a general location well northeast of Phandelver.
Well,
So-
northeast. Okay.
Yeah, like I remember, like the cave was northeast, but then the orcs were further northeast. Is that correct?
So northeast of Phandalin was
Yeah, not Phandelver.
along the trail was specifically the ruins of Coneyberry. There was the Old Owl Well, and then the orcs of Wyvern Tor were they were basically along the mountain edge of the Sword Mountains.
Okay, so I remember there was a cave that they were in, and that's the general location I'm trying to send him. But my
Okay,
is so
I
shitty.
get. Make a well. Let's make a. We'll call it a general dexterity check, because I know you're not proficient in cartography supplies.
Right. Oh, that's a save. It doesn't matter. It's a 0. Anyway.
Yeah. Kind of cranes his head to the side, kind of waiting for you to be finished in your entirety, really.
I chuck or I like do that nervous laughter. I know I'm not good with maps, and I kind of point in the direction. Am I decent with direction at least?
Well, direction
Point
is
that way is map.
even from here. Like, you don't have a compass that just says, "Oh, it's directly that direction." It would be more of a, it's off in that away, you know,
And I,
past
like,
where the cultists were.
I swipe my sword like in a 90-degree arc almost.
So the dragon kind of looks down at the directions you've given him.
It would be easier if you just showed me.
At which point his head kind of lifts up, and he starts to reach out for you.
I am going to. What can I use? I can't really use much.
Plus is blink shot of the dragon.
Blinkshaw, Charles? I mean, if you're asking that question, I don't know, are you asking Charles this question?
I'm kind of like
Because you don't currently see them.
I have line of sight
Because
of
they're
them.
kind of down in the... Well, they're, you know, from where you are, they're 65 feet down the hill, and there's several trees in the way.
That's true.
Like, you see Venomfang, but you don't make out where Blinkshaw is.
All right.
Do I have time to use thaumaturgy?
You could get a thaumaturgy off.
All right. Basically, I'm going to make my voice extremely loud, and I think that's extremely loud, and say, "I do not appreciate being picked up," and start walking back this way.
All right, I'm going to need you to make me an athletics check.
All right.
Or acrobatics, your choice.
Acrobatics 0, athletics 2. Hey, good rolls again this week.
Alright,
I'm back. What's going on?
so he, despite as you step back, he kind of lunges forward, his entire hand wrapping around you and lifting you up into the air. The incident of this is he's using the hand that he took Talon in, so as he grabs you, Talon just kind of drops to the ground where you were. And he kind of lifts you up to his face.
No, you're coming with me.
And as he kind of holds you in place, he starts to flap his wings.
I'm readying an action in case he tries to take off. I've been saying that on
He
mute,
is
so-
taking off.
All right, he's not getting away with my blinky.
And I say, wrong choice.
I run up with just on the edge of range. Hold on, let me just make sure I got this. Yeah. And I'm having trouble with like figuring out exactly what's where on the map. So give me 1 second. And I'm going to cast Web. And I'm keeping track of my whatchamacallits, so I'll let you know how many charges I have. Can I get him and not you guys? I also need pillars like in place. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I know. I'm trying to make sure they're in the right spot to anchor. Sorry.
I mean, you could, depending on how wide it is, it's 20 foot, right? So you could tie it between these two trees here.
But it's 20-foot cube. So if I did it,
so I don't think there's any way for you to do it without getting at least blink shot in the mist as well.
yeah. What's Can I move my
Fine.
token to see, like, cause I can't figure out the depth with all of the towers. Like I can't, like I know I can see there's things behind it. So that's why but me, the player, can't. Can I move my token just to see what's going on around the
Well,
chart?
that's the issue where your perspective is from Balin's perspective, so you can see what Balin can see right now. If that's the
Okay.
limit of what you
So
can
if I
see,
move- alright,
then
if I-
you
if I
don't have
move the-
vision.
Okay, I see what you're saying. In that case, let me see what I can do here.
I would also like to cast a
So
spell.
there's a building there and a tree there. He'd technically be in the zone at that point, wouldn't he?
I mean, a part of him is outside of that tree. You could probably catch the back of him, which would still technically be in the
Right
webs.
here.
Draw me a square.
That's what I'm doing right now.
That square is much larger.
Oh, it's
than
okay.
It should be.
Too many, yeah.
It would be a 20-foot square, so it would be this. I mean, that would get him because he would be inside of its range.
Specifically, him and his arms and wings. Okay.
Well,
I mean,
that's,
the
he
best
would
thing
get his backside because his backside is that direction.
I
But
think
he
if you
would be
wanna
in
get
the
his-
web, so it wouldn't matter what part of him you had.
Yeah, if you want to get his wings, I have a feeling you have to get me. But I know what you're trying to do, and I don't think the spell differentiates between wings and other part, right?
It just makes them all grappled. So
So go ahead and roll
Um,
me that so I can see what the DC. What is the DC for the web again? I think it's
Mystic
set in
web
the
controls a
wand.
20-foot cube. If webs aren't anchored, they are anchored. Skip. Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or that enters them during its turn must make a dexterity saving throw. Hold on. Maybe it's in the DC 15.
all right, DC
'Cause
15.
it's in the write up of the whatchamacallit.
It is a strength save, right?
Dex.
It's a Dex save.
Creature. Let me say. The initial save is Dex. The save at the following saves to use its turn to break out is Strength.
So try to
Um,
avoid the.
Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or that.
I'm reading it. I got it.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Had it up.
So the web spills out into this area, and as it does, it seems to tangle up the bottom of his body. He lets out a roar in frustration as something has sailed on him. I need everybody to roll me initiative.
I love that you say that like a game show host now. I didn't click my token again. But it's a 9, so who gives a shit? Doesn't matter.
Well, that's one way to initiate a campaign for actually.
There's the
a decent
20 I don't get
initiative
to
roll.
use. There's the 20 I don't get to use. God damn it. Stupid
I
freaking
just
game.
want to say this is really exciting. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We
Thank
are.
you, stranger, who's going to be joining me hopefully next week if I'm still alive.
I was gonna say we might all get new characters for next week.
Nope.
Don't worry,
Those
one
are
of you
clever
guys
accents.
can play the fourth.
Oh, that
player.
would be really awkward if you guys had to start over at level 1 for the next campaign. That would make me sad. So, with that, the surprise round is over. Clay, you are the first to act. You know that currently your blade, Talon, is setting right here at Venomfane's feet.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna go and grab it if combat started and use it.
So in his, in the fact that he is trapped in this web for a moment, he's dealing with that. He's not actually trying to stop you from taking Talon, so you could just grab that as part of your movement action.
Okay, so I move here, you said,
Yes.
and then pick up the sword.
All right. You can pick up Talon.
Okay. Anything else?
You have your action still.
Fantastic. I'm going to use
Attack.
Talon to cut the dragon.
All right. Go ahead and attempt to attack the dragon. Okay, you
Oh!
crit the dragon.
It's on.
Sorry. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my book. So
This should be a good
it's-
point to mention that you also have advantage, but you didn't need it because you got the crit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at what I can do because that Battle Master should be able to. You know what? Should I do Distracting Strike?
We need to front load as much as we can.
Yeah. All the damage. All the damage.
Yeah, so that gives the next friendly gets advantage, but at the same time, I think it also gives me extra damage on my roll.
Well, it's a D8 extra, but it's also a crit, so it's 2D8
Do
extra.
it.
Okay.
Do it.
We always have advantage on a restrained character.
Okay.
Yes, because that's part of the restrained condition.
So distracting is. So I roll my damage, which is crit damage.
Since you're using your shield, it's going to be the first one. So 15 plus another 2d8.
Okay, so 1.
So 24 damage as you just run up and stab into Venom Fang after drawing Talon from the ground.
And
He kind of roars, "You'll pay for this! All of you!"
then I'm gonna action surge
Okay, go ahead and action surge.
and do it again.
Alrighty, you still have advantage.
Oh, almost a double crit.
Almost.
Yeah, no, you hit him again. Go ahead and roll for damage again.
Your
And
one-handed is much better than two-handed.
I noticed.
Well, your two-handed doesn't have any of your bonuses applied to it.
That's true.
Okay. So I just try to front load everything I could into that, guys. So have fun with it.
How much total damage did you do?
And what was the strike you did? Distracting strike?
Yeah, the first one was distracting strike. So next friendly gets advantage. So
Oh, we
what
already
would
had
be that?
advantage.
Yeah, but it gives me extra damage.
Yeah,
Oh, fair, okay.
an extra 2d8.
Very quickly double checking that in my PHB.
You might have just used it on yourself.
Yep. Alrighty. So after that, we come to Blisk, who there's just a crossbow bolt that comes sailing out of the air and kind of clinks against the side of his scales, unable to pierce. And Blisk just says, "I told you, he's still a dragon!" Phil Dennis.
I was stealth earlier with I think a 14. Does he see me? No, I don't think. Nah, never mind. I'm just gonna go
He
here.
seems preoccupied at the moment.
Right here, where I have a clear line of sight. I hope. And,
From there, you can clearly see Blinkshaw and Venom Fang.
Okay. And I'll grab a
And I think
random
you can actually
leaf.
just make out Clay behind Venom Fang.
I'll grab a random leaf, smack in my palms, and shoot it out. Acid arrow.
Okay. That will hit. And I have to double check the spell Acid Arrow now, because I've never seen anybody use Melf's Acid Arrow.
I'll look it up.
I got the book, don't worry.
All right.
I have never ever seen somebody use that spell. I've read it 100 times, but I've never seen somebody actually use it.
Ignore the second one.
Alright, on a hit, the target takes 44 acid damage immediately, and 2d4 acid damage on the end of its next turn. Okay,
I never
so
rolled shit.
it takes 6 points of acid damage. As acid just kind of splatters against one of his sides, and he kind of rips his head back and forth, trying to avoid the onslaught of damage and both escape the spidery web that has encapsulated him. But at the end of your turn, it is Venom Fang's turn, and he begins to beat his wings violently, trying to escape the web. And with a natural 20, he rips himself free, leveling up into the air and staring down at you with frustration and anger. He will provoke from opportunity from you, Blinkshot and Clay, as he lifts off the ground.
And I will abuse that.
Alright, you hit him. Alright, you hit him for 12. Blinkshot, unfortunately, you kind of swing into his talon and just kind of clank off. Alright, you manage to get a decent stab out of his leg, but he soars up into the air 80 feet up as he just kind of stares down, roaring in anger. Balin.
He's just up from where he was.
Yes, he has fallen 80 feet straight up.
Okay. Shit. Just trying to think if there's any way I can get up 20 feet in the air. I'm trying to. I have one more cast of web left. I wanted to see if I could web him between the same two trees since he hasn't moved, just higher up. But the range is 60
He's
feet.
higher than the trees now. Like, he's above the tree. The tree does not go 80 feet up.
Okay. I mean, the best we can do in this case is. Oh wait, you know what? I've been waiting to use this all day. Make sure I can do it. Let me just make sure I have the range for it. Hold on. Spells.
1 second. Did you say that with Acid Arrow he takes more damage at the end of his next turn?
He does, so he will take some more damage at the end of his turn. It's so easy to forget those things, but no, that's absolutely fine.
Curly, you are so hired.
Yep, you're right.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, in that case, there's nothing much else I can do besides fire on him, because.
So are you going to drop your wand to do that?
Do I have to drop it on the ground?
Fire.
Or can
You
I
can't.
just
You don't have enough movement to stow it and draw a weapon. That is too many actions.
You can drop it on the ground, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it and just fire.
I'm just keeping things straight.
And I do not have advantage, correct? 'Cause he broke the
No,
webbing.
you do not have advantage anymore. The distracting strike has been used up, and he is no longer restrained.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that 'cause I have a short bow, so I'd be firing at disadvantage. I'm gonna hold on to the thingy and hide. And
Where are you going to hide? Are you going to hide behind the statue?
that's what I'm looking. No, that's where I am now. That's where I attacked him from, so I can't do it there. How much damage did we do to him already?
Some.
Like 70.
61.
Okay. I will just. I'm going to try and cast sleep on him if I have range on that, because I don't know the ranges on all this shit, and see if he has less than so much health. What's the range on sleep? 90 feet. There we go.
All right.
Make sure I can get to that.
Watch out, he's an elf.
So you're just centering sleep in the middle of the air atop where Venom Fang is.
Yep. And I roll what, 5d8 for that?
I think 5d8 is the proper number if you're casting it at first level.
I think I only have first level, so yep. All right. Come on, lucky number 40. Which probably won't even be enough, but it's all I can really do. And
It has no effect.
He probably has more than that. Okay. And now I just run away and hide.
All right. You run away. Go ahead and roll your stealth check.
Where is stealth? Aha!
All right. From there, we come to Blankshaw.
Am I on the ground or 80 feet?
That is a very good question. So, in his attempt to escape from you and you getting an attack against him, he would have let you go. Because getting free would have had more precedent than holding on to you.
That is what I figured, but I wanted to make sure.
Because that's a fair point. Because you would not have gotten an opportunity to attack if he brought you with him. Also, he would not have been able to. No, he would have, because he's a large creature. He could carry you as far as he wanted. The benefits of being a dragon.
Yeah.
No, you are currently on the ground.
Cool. I am going to guiding bolt him from the ground.
How far are you going to move, Balin?
I was actually typing that out for you so you know. I used my cunning action to dash after I cast. So
You
that's why I was
used your
gonna
cunning
use that.
action
I
to
moved 60.
hide.
Question.
Oh, you're right. So I have to move back 30.
For Distracting Strike, who is using that? The advantage?
That would have been Blisk took a shot at him, and so did Phil Dennis, and both. Well, one Blinkshaw or Blisk and Blinkshaw, very common names, very similar. Blisk missed with the distracting strike, but even though he already had advantage from range.
He wasted it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I didn't. Yeah.
No, I mean we should definitely keep track of that if we
Because it says
do
next
anything
friendly other than
that's
me.
great.
So
So I'm going to guiding bolt just at level 1, unfortunately.
Okay.
And no one.
That does not hit.
Figured.
Kind of bounces off the side of his armored scales, but it is not effectual.
Did I have a sense of how wide the breath was the first time we got enveloped?
Well, you guys were standing in a huddle about 15 feet across, and it easily covered you and then some.
All right. Basically, I'm gonna move away from Clay. Does this look like it's? Does this look like it's about far enough from the last time we got enveloped?
No.
Right. How does that look?
Is this really the game we're going to play where you move 5 feet? Is this far enough? Is this far enough? Is this far enough? Move how far you want to move and just make it that your choice. Because we're not going to play the is this far enough? Is this far enough game?
I
we don't have time for that this
sure.
week.
I was also not sure if I could move that far because I'm a.
You have your entirety of movement. You have all 25 feet of your movement.
Yeah, that is the 25 feet of my movement there.
Okay. So, your gunning misses, you move there. Clay, we come back to you.
So he's up in the air and I can't.
He is 80 feet up in the air, yes.
Fantastic. Okay. I do not know what to do other than pull out my light crossbow and maybe shoot at him.
You currently have a shield on, so how are you pulling out a light crossbow?
That's exactly what I want to know. Any recommendations, anyone?
You can drop your weapon and and grab a crossbow. I
Even
guess,
then,
but-
he can't because it's an action to remove a shield. That is the downside to having a shield equipped.
Yeah, can I throw a dagger at him?
Actually, I don't even think you can do that because he's outside of dagger range. Because the dagger maximum range is 60 feet.
I'm going to probably move to get some.
You can use
space
foul language. Foul language has as far as you can yell.
Yeah, I'm good at that. I want to start over here.
You can probably get ready to get out of the way of anything.
Yeah, move and take the dodge action so that you at least have advantage on, or he has disadvantage on the attack or whatever that does.
I'll take that then. I'll move and take a dodge action.
You can take the dodge action.
I'm good. After that.
On Blisk's turn, he fires his crossbow up into the air, this time at disadvantage because the range is not beneficent. He hits at disadvantage as one of the arrows just kind of pierces in the middle of his chest, and he's like, no call, but Venom Fang again roars in frustration. Phil Dennis, it comes to your turn again.
I don't really know the range of where I am. He's 80 up, and I'm 65 away.
He is 65 feet away.
Okay.
But he is, since he's 80 feet up and 65 feet away, he is 80 feet away.
Okay.
Because diagonal movement doesn't actually imply penalties on distance.
I'm all here doing math, trying to figure it out. I want to do acid arrow again.
Okay. That hits. So your acid arrow kind of slams into Venom Fang's hide, and he lets out another roar of anger and hatred.
And that'd be it.
On his turn, he
takes 5.
Sees how spread out everything has come on this battlefield. But as he stares back and forth, his eyes lock onto one person specifically. And as he drops 50 feet towards you, Clay, I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. Oh
as
boy.
he kind of dive bombs you, and as he does, his mouth opens and a plume of green washes out, just kind of bathing this entire area over here. As he sweeps, not low enough to brush the ground, but low enough to hit you, and all of this is just covered in green smoke.
That's fair. That's fair. Come on,
so,
guys.
unfortunately, the dodge action doesn't actually give you advantage on Constitution saving throws. So you're going to take the entirety of 38 points of poison damage.
Well, guys, nice on you.
You're just unconscious. We'll get you back up.
Yeah. And as he does, he kind of sweeps past you, sailing off to here. And as he gets to this point, he kind of turns back, and the acid that is digging at him from the acid arrow, remembering this time, continues to work on him. His head kind of darts back and forth, and he continues, as he kind of takes a moment to look back, he turns and seems to move farther up this way. And that is the end of his turn, Balin.
How high up is he now?
He dove down 50 feet, just far enough to hit Clay, but then he climbed back up 30 feet, so he's 60 feet in the air.
60 feet in the air.
Yes.
All right. Go, very last gadget webbing. Between the statue and the building, would that catch him?
That building is not high enough. That building is only 30 feet tall.
Oh, the building's only 30 feet up?
Yeah, no, these buildings do not go 60 feet in the air. And the statue itself only doesn't even go that high. The statue, I believe, is only 30 feet high.
Oh, right. All the buildings around him are about the same.
Sorry, no, the statue is only 10 feet tall.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm still hidden, so unless he has seen me, I can fire with advantage, and I think he's within range now of my short bow.
60 feet.
Yep. Yeah. Max for not being disadvantaged is 80, so I should be good. I will fire with the short bow with advantage. Come on, crit.
Alright. This is...
Yeah. We all know how that goes.
So your arrow just kind of flies past him, and as he, in the moment where he's kind of turning off towards the distance, his head kind of whips around and stares at you with the sneer.
And now we're gonna get the fudge out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will hide in the shrubbery.
Okay. Alright. Blinkshaw.
Attempting another guiding bolt.
Okay. That will hit.
Hey yo. And I did not say level 2, so I have to cast a level 1, right?
Mm-hmm. You got to call that before you use it.
That's what I figured.
Alright. Well, your guiding bolt slams into his hindquarters for 12 points of damage.
And then I am going to start waddling over to Clay.
Alright. Clay, I believe you're unconscious, so make me a death saving throw, please. That is your first failure. Alright, on Blisk's turn, Venom Fang is 60 feet in the air and 70 feet away, so fortunately for him, that is just enough to make a light crossbow shot at normal because Guiding Bolt giving him advantage. Wow, those are some really fucking good rolls. As a crossbow arrow just kind of sails off through the distance and manages to pierce into the through the underside of one of Venom Fang's arms, eliciting yet another roar in frustration. Till Dennis.
I would like to cast, oh wait. I would get closer.
Venom Fang is currently 115 feet away from you.
And I can still see him though, right? He's in the air.
I mean, he's up in the air, so yes, you can see him fine.
I will cast Catapult on his ass. Well,
what are you going to catapult towards him?
Is there a random branch on the floor?
Sure.
Or stick it to him. That's so great.
So the branch just goes speeding through the air like a flying spear, and after a moment, he kind of lists to one side, and it just sails past him.
Damn!
He makes a save, unfortunately, with a 17.
That's it.
Alright. On his
Catapult
turn...
doesn't do damage? On
no, if they make it, it does no damage. It says right there. So,
Right.
on Venom Fang's turn, his wings continue to beat roughly, and he sails up and off, 160 feet away, out of Thunder Tree.
I can get him still.
That's what I thought, bitch!
So, at that moment, I'm going to end initiative.
Before Clay needs to make another death saving throw, because I am in front
I'm
of
assuming you're going to do that, yes.
him. And it's a level 2 cure wounds, because that's all I got left for spell slots.
Alright, so go ahead and get your cure wounds. Venom Fang continues to beat wings as fast as his wings will carry him off into the distance.
We could have taken him.
Still not ready to cluster up, still watching the sky. Not fucking bad, boys! And Balin's just like, not fucking bad.
From the distance, you just kind of hear call out, "Don't get forgotten! I get paid for this!"
Yeah, he definitely didn't have the heirloom with him.
He just kind of slides down the tree, and Blisk very carefully kind of creeps over. He doesn't come out entirely. He like kind of hides underneath this tree, using the top of the tree as foliage for cover. Just kind of peering up and then looking over.
Did we actually do this?
Yeah, we did.
Hell yeah, we did.
Clay leans up and he's like, "That's a little fast."
Let's get the treasure first.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get treasure,
so-
of course. Obviously, let's make him pay.
Heirloom, the box of gold he had probably back in his tower
The heirloom
somewhere.
is gone with him.
Yeah,
It was
he
wrapped
took the
along
heirloom.
his claw.
Oh, he took it? Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
it was
though there's
wrapped
West-
around his claw, and
There's-
he dropped Talon though, which was something.
I'd rather
There's
have
3
Talon.
diamonds in there. What I remember.
It's alright. I know where his stash is.
Yeah, there's still the diamonds, his stash. All right, let's just go collect all that crap.
Yeah, I gotta get going, guys.
Good job tonight. Way
Yep.
to absorb damage
Clay.
and talk well.
You have a good
Well-
one, Joseph.
Clay,
So-
you're gonna be our meat shield.
Yeah, just if you guys want to use Clay as like the keeper of the manor or whatever as an ongoing thing, great. But I don't know if he wants to continue adventuring with you guys after this. And two brothers dead.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, me neither.
So as you head up to the top of the tower, you see the giant spider corpses that were here before are still dead there, but everything is mostly quiet.
Where's that damn squirrel?
Probably getting all the loot. Let's get in there quick.
Didn't do anything. I'm gonna go to open the door.
You open the door,
There's a big
Uh,
boulder inside.
it opens easily, and you
I
press
asked
through.
Dylan to check for traps before I go in. I should have done that before going in, but
I like to keep an eye out for the dragon still.
Go ahead and make your perception check, Balin. Which would require actually going into the room, not around the side of the tower.
I just moved the thing wrong.
Alright, with the 13, you don't notice any traps that you can see.
Nice shrug. Looks alright to me.
I'll walk on in then. Looks like there's 2 doors here. I asked Phil Dennis. I know he's keeping an eye out, but I asked him, where do I go in here? There's 2 doors.
I only saw one door on the inside tower. You pick.
Alright, that's probably this one then. I'll go over towards this door and hey, Balin, come check for traps
Okay.
on the door.
As
Instead
he's
of
like
the room.
watching the side of the building, getting ready to climb it.
Oh.
This one, in front of you?
Yep.
No traps here either. Not that you see.
This looks good, but I'm pretty sure there's a giant boulder on the other side of it.
I try to open the door anyway.
So the door does not open towards you, it opens inwards, and as you move to push forward, it is very clearly blocked by something.
Can I use my mason's tools to see if there's a way to take off the door from this side?
Make a mason's tool check.
It's a great use of mason's tools.
Alright, so looking at the door, you could, with some very careful chiseling, you could remove the hinges and just pull the door off on this side.
Nice, I do that.
Alright, so yeah, it takes about 5 minutes of work, just kind of very neatly chiseling around the hinges. The stone gives way, and you pry the door back, and as you move it over, you see that there's probably a couple 100 pounds of rubble pushed up on the other side of the doorway.
Is it something I think that Clay and I can push out of the way?
Combined with some work, yes, you could.
All right.
It
So
is
Clay-
slow, and it is tedious, and it is a little exhausting, but bit by bit, you manage to shove the top of the rubble and the medium of the rubble and the rest of the rubble off to the side, and you can make your way into the room, or at least the ruined tower itself. As you step inside,
they're
you can
doing-
see the tower is opened on the top, so that Ben and Fan could very easily slide down in and out, as you saw him do multiple times.
Blisk. keep
While they
an
were
eye out
doing
for
that,
the
is
dragon.
15 enough to scale the tower? Acrobatics?
It is not acrobatics to scale; it is athletics.
Oh, okay.
And let Charles know if you see him.
This is just kind of
Is
sitting there.
10 enough?
10. Let's see here. The tower is
Like 30 feet, right?
it's 40 feet high. At this point, you can start climbing the tower. Go ahead and make another athletics check. All right. So on the second one, you manage to get 15 feet up, but your grip kind of lessens, and you drop back down to the ground, taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall on your ass.
Ow! Okay, I'm not wasting spider climb. I was just getting impatient, so I'll help them clear rubble after my butt stops hurting.
I hear Balin fall to the ground, laugh. And
You were still
don't-
clearing rubble.
I don't tell him we're in yet.
This was happening while you were clearing rubble, yes, because it took you a lot longer to clear the rubble than him to try and climb.
All right.
Like, you start doing all the heavy lifting, and I'm like, screw this, I'm just gonna climb the tower. 5 seconds later, thump. Hey guys, let me help you clear some rubble.
I'll help
I
with
see.
Mage-Hand. Little.
Phil Dennis.
Little pebbles are just kind of ferried away and dropped off in the corner.
Mhm.
All right.
And I point at the rope that's hanging on the inside wall, and I'm like, see, now if we hadn't dropped Phil Dennis, we could have put that on the outside wall and saved ourselves the hard work.
I say, Phil Dennis. I don't see the chest. Where do you put it?
I point to underneath the stairs where he hit it. I believe that was their place.
Yeah. There's another. Yeah. There's looking in the room, all you see is rubble. But as Phildis walks over and points at it, it would probably take you a little bit more time to start lifting it up and carrying it out of here. But no more effort than it would have. Honestly, tongue-tied. Less effort than it would have taken you to clear the doorway. And as you start to lift it away, you see there are several things in here. There are heaps of coin that have just been kind of absentmindedly brushed over. You see what looks like a chest just kind of nestled in there as well. There's also what appears to be a battle axe that is covered in rust.
Ooh.
And you can start to clean that out if you would so desire. You
Do we
see
see
heaps
the
of silver
diamonds?
and gold.
I
The
see
diamonds
them.
don't appear to be in there.
Rats.
They were
Where
in
the
the
hell are you
chest.
going with those diamonds?
He put them in the chest. I open the chest to see if they're still in there.
Opening the chest, you see there are numerous things in here. There appear to be several diamonds set up on the
Hey.
top. There also appear to be 2 very neatly folded parchments kind of tucked into this one on the side of the chest. But this also appears to be the chest that you gave him, full of copper, silver, and to a much lesser extent gold pieces. Almost like everything here was added together to keep it moderately neat and tidy.
So there's heaps of coins in his little hoard, and then there's the coins that were in the chest, or he combined them.
Yeah. It looks like there was coins here before it was added to the chest, and the coins here, there's far too much to add it to what was already a very full chest.
Okay. Rogue accountant is going to begin adding up coin. Let me know when I can put it on my spreadsheet and dole it out. Well,
I
so that is
don't
rates and matches.
recommend counting until we're clear of this area.
Yeah, I say
Or
let's
gathering it up and
let's just gather it up and get the hell out of here.
All right. So does anybody have like extra baggage to carry? Because there is a lot of coin here that
Well,
you would not. You would have to
I
either
do.
split up amongst a lot of you, or you would just have to give most of it to Blisk.
We do have
because
horses. We can have them carry.
We have
some.
horses, and
You
I
could
have,
retrieve your horses, yes.
Yeah.
But
I
it's,
did actually
did
buy
you
a
buy
saddle.
saddlebags for your horses? Because if so, then yes, you could very easily bring your horses over and start carrying it out to them.
I didn't know what the horse came with. It was a package deal.
It was a horse. It did not even come with a saddle.
Ah. We bareback those away.
Evidently.
I have a blanket. Can we just wrap it all in a blanket?
I do have a sack.
It's a little more than you could carry in just a blanket, but with the sack, you could probably get all of it out of here.
Perfect.
And as you are digging through most of the silver and gold, there doesn't appear to be any copper in the actual stash itself. You come across, there are actually 4 silver goblets that appear to have moonstones embedded in them. Something else to be added to the pile.
Yeah.
All in all,
Alright,
it takes
so
you
we-
about an hour to scrape most of it out of here, but when you do not see a coin left standing.
Over that hour, can we have some person outside watching lookout? Balin will volunteer. Well, since I'm the accountant, maybe it's not better for me. Blisk isn't going to leave, but someone should stand outside and wait and look. Like Clay, since he's not here.
Cut to
Okay.
Charles, who's just kind of
So-
staring up into the sky.
Or Charles, yeah, either one. Okay, but yeah, now we've got all our stuff, and now I'm glad we have horses, because we can't carry all this shit back.
Clay will be the pack mule.
Was there anything magical that popped up?
After casting Detect Magic, yes. Both of the scrolls appear to be magical, and so does the Rusty Battle Axe.
Oh. I guess during that whole hour, I'll just identify those 3 items.
Alright. So, identifying one of the scrolls, it comes off as a scroll of Misty Step. The other scroll appears to be a scroll of Lightning Bolt.
Oh.
And as you look at the Rusty Battle Axe, looking it over, it appears to have writing in Dwarvish on it. And as you identify it, you become aware that not only is it a magical +1 battle axe, but it has a name, Hugh.
Hugh.
And that the battle axe itself, it was made by a dwarf to kill dryads.
Hugh Grant.
And that and as a out-of-game note, whenever you hit a plant creature or an object made out of wood, the axe automatically deals maximum damage.
Holy fuck.
Nice.
I bet it's cursed.
You did not identify any curse, but that does not mean that there is not a curse.
No.
I mean, is there any doubt that that should go to our brave cleric of the light?
I give Balin the Misty Step scroll, because I feel like he'd be using the pinch.
Ooh.
But it takes an action to use it, I would assume, since it's a scroll instead of a bonus action.
Yes, it takes an action to read it.
Yeah. But hey, you know what?
Okay, hey. Works for me. And after next level, when I can actually learn scrolls, that'll go right into my book.
Actually, you have to be. It's a 2nd level spell, so you'd have to wait until you could cast 2nd level
It's
spell.
level 4. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that Blink Shaw is more than earned dwarvish plant killer.
I would love that.
Is it a one-handed or two-handed axe?
It's a battle axe, so it's one-handed.
Versatile, isn't
Oh.
it?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
battle axe is versatile.
Alright.
I wish it had a handout for you. Unfortunately, I do not have a handout for you.
Hugh!
That's okay.
The axe.
It is my axe is Hugh Grant the axe.
Hugh Grant.
What?
You grant you the right to die.
Damn it!
The regret. That was named what it was, and I did not actually make that. Oh my god! If I'd made it, I'd be more upset. But no, that's
That's why I
Alright.
went with Hugh Grant too, because then you can use Grant for everything.
Oh.
Hugh grants you your life,
Take it for granted.
mortal.
I'm sorry. Is your name Grant? About
So yeah, once we abscond from here and we're certain that we're not going to be snuck up on, we can start adding up the coins.
when you have gathered your horses and your loot, where do you head out from Thunder Tree? There does not
druid?
appear to be any sign of Venom Thing in sight.
What about the squirrel? Or the druid? I can't remember his name.
Radolf.
Radolf.
He's useless. He owes us money.
Radolf.
Let's just get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore.
Keep care of Thunder Tree as we leave.
Stay away from
So where are you
mine.
going? That was the question. Where are you going?
Fallon?
Let's go back towards
No, I mean, we can go towards Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Just in case he does double back, and we won't lure the dragon back to Phandelver that can't defend itself.
Well, let's also tell them about the dragon, and they can go kill it because they will. But we have the loot.
But it didn't have any loot. It was the world's only broke dragon.
Tell them the dragon's there. That's it.
Yeah. We ran it off, but it escaped our wrath, keeping an eye out for it. So yeah, Neverwinter on horseback. Is that
Finders
what we're agreeing on?
keepers.
You all set out towards Neverwinter. This is a city that you all are familiar with, as this is the city that you actually started your adventure in before you, when you were originally hired by Gundren Rockseeker. And with the distance you all following the river, you can make good distance on your horses, pushing almost the entire way to Neverwinter. You're probably about a quarter's day of travel when night starts to fall in earnest, and you have and you cannot push any farther unless you start traveling through the night and run fatigue.
Let's
Fatigue
not
is a good
push it
idea.
for the night.
I need the rest. I'm like less than half health. And if a dragon came this close to the city, it'd probably go noticed. And I don't want to be noticed.
You all can bed down for the night. I'm not going to ask for any perception checks, but who would be taking specifically the third watch?
Probably be either myself or Phil Dennis because we can see in the dark.
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing on mute, but I keep forgetting that.
Probably.
Okay.
Unless third
So-
watch is like in the morning.
No, this would be late at night. So
Okay,
in the
I'll
middle
take
of the third watch, a furry little creature scampers up into the middle of the campfire, and as you draw your attention to it, it begins to shift and form back into the form of one Radolf, who, as he kind of takes on the entirety of his form, he clasps his hands together.
Oh, that was an impressive fight.
Impressive. Honestly,
Yeah.
never mind.
I'm glad you were watching.
Yeah.
Perhaps, with your help, we could have even ended the dragon.
I would not have been helped. But you managed on your own just fine. I don't see that dragon coming back anytime soon.
Certainly hope not. Do you think you can care for Thunder Tree in the meantime?
I will do as I have the past 50 years. And if the fates allow, another 50 more.
Not to sound like a smartass, but you could have told us that maybe 10 hours ago and then not have to walk all the way back.
Oh, I was going to visit Neverwinter anyways.
Okay.
And I expected you to find me after the fight, but that's... Oh, well.
It's like trying to find a squirrel in a forest.
Exactly.
I think Balin's yelled at this guy enough times where he's about to say something shitty and just he's like, whatever. We just survived a green dragon
You're
fight.
asleep.
I'm gonna leave the old guy alone.
You're asleep.
In his sleep, he's just
Oh,
thinking about him.
Oh, you didn't wake everybody up? Okay, sorry.
No.
Never mind.
No.
Then I'm
Because
muting.
I
I'm
knew you
sorry.
would just yell at him.
So, with a smile on his voice,
You all have done very well.
Thank you, Rados.
I wish I had more to give you.
Is there... You say more. Is there something you are giving us?
kind of looks off in the air like he's forgotten something.
Yes.
And in that moment, he kind of walks over and he kind of puts a hand on Phil Dennis's forehead. And Phil Dennis, for a second, I don't believe you. Were you awake? Because were you? We'll say you're awake. You were taking watch together. Why not?
Okay.
So he just kind of places your head on your forehead, and for a second, it's just kind of an old, cold hand, like a poor one of poor circulation. But then in an instant, you feel like warmth kind of rush through it, and it seems to embolden you almost in a way. And then he kind of pulls his hand back.
There. That should come in handy. In case you find yourself picked up by a dragon again.
What was
And
it?
you become inherently aware, Phil Dennis, that you have been given a boon of transformation. You have been given the ability to 3 times, but only 3 times, this will never replenish, transform into either a small squirrel or into a raven. And these transformations last for an hour.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you, Radolf.
No. Of course. I would give it to the rest of you, but I'm afraid that's the extent of my magic.
Oh, do not worry. Phil Dennis is the one that could use it the most. Thank you for your gift.
He kind of sits himself down. He reaches into one of his robes and pulls out like a small handful of berries and just kind of puts one in his mouth.
I hope I'm not going to put you out too much by resting at your camp as well. I'm feeling quite tired.
I assumed you would join us, but we will be out in about 4 hours, just as a warning. Would you like me to wake you up?
Well, sure.
He kind of lays himself down.
I eat one of the good berries that he gave me earlier.
Okay. It's still intact? Yeah, no, and he's gonna put it in your mouth. It has like a very strange mix of like a very tangy but very sweet taste. It's hard to place it. It doesn't taste like any normal berry you'd ever had. And as it kind of rushes down you, you feel like you haven't had much to eat today, but that's okay. You don't really feel hungry at all. Like as you eat this berry, all that feeling of like being thirsty and hungry just kind of abates.
I like this bear.
And you can finish off your watch, wake up the person who will be taking the last watch, and move on.
All right.
But as the morning comes, there is no Radoth to be seen.
Blisk and I fell asleep clutching the sacks of money, so they're still there, right?
Yeah. And this is actually kind of like kicking slightly as he's wrapped around. It's like,
like I imagine him sleeping back to back, each big spooning, like all of the gold just white knuckled in the dead of night.
It's the safest any gold has ever been.
That old bastard robbed us.
Your first assumption is everybody's going to rob us because that's what you would do.
That's not true. I would only rob most people in most certain scenarios. I'm good now. You've converted me to the light.
I would rob you. I mean, not you, but I would rob people. I have no problem. There goes my gold now.
Did he really turn to the light?
I don't know. That's up to Balin to tell you. That was a really good roll, though, and you are not that deceptive. Is Balin being honest?
Currently, no. He is actually getting better, but no, he hasn't. Well, he doesn't.
So I guess the impression you get, Blinkshar, is, yeah, but I definitely have room for improvement.
Yeah, it's like he's trying, but at the same time, he's like, your stuff, my stuff.
It's the classic spiel of, I want to be better. I'm trying, really. I am.
But
like chaotic good is the best you're ever gonna get, and he's not quite there yet, but he's almost there.
I just smile and nod at Balin. Okay, buddy.
Meanwhile, Blisk would absolutely rob anybody who was not you guys. That's the impression you got from him.
I'm not convinced he's not robbing us.
Yeah, didn't even have to insight check that.
So we had a long rest out of that?
Yes, you all get a long rest.
Oh, thank the Lord. And half of our level in hit dice, correct?
Yes. And bright and early in the morning, you all can set off, and head towards Neverwinter, at which you are treated to... unfortunately, I can't. Let me very quickly upload something so I can actually show you the city of Neverwinter. As it is yes, that. Alright. That is not doing what I want it to. That's fine. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so as you arrive in Neverwinter, you remember that the city itself is set up in several tiers. And it's relatively large. It's one of the largest cities on the Sword Coast, and often known as the Jewel of the North. Is there anything you would like to do, or are you just going to seek accommodations and move on from there?
I think at first we still need a place to safely bunk down and break up the loot, and we also have to go let the authorities know about the dragon just in case immediately. In that order.
I agree.
I should have just uploaded this to Discord. That would have been 1,000 times easier. Now my fucking Google Chrome is frozen up. That's great. Okay. So, seeking accommodations, you can easily find find an inn. And the people will point you towards the Salted Water, which is apparently a relatively higher end establishment, not the typical, somewhat roughing it accommodation that you're used to. There we go. That is the city of Neverwinter.
Ooh.
It is all tiered up in the massive bridges spanning across the rivers that run past. The far right district is the Regal district, is where the king, the royalty of Neverwinter resides, as well as the noble class. The middle is essentially the temple district, where most of the temples and the religious sanctums are. And the last city is where the essential commoners live, in the merchant district.
Instead of, pardon me, instead of going to the inn, are we able to use my Shelter of the Faithful to get free lodging at the temple?
Does that extend to all of your companions or just you?
It is my party as well.
Alright, so yes, if you would like, you can seek out the Shelter of the Faithful. It is not difficult. You know exactly where the... You guys can hear me, correct?
Yep.
Because my Discord is starting to lag now, and all my entire computer is just throwing a fucking hissy fit. So yes, you can seek out the Temple of Torm.
It is...
And...
Sorry, those who will share your religion will support you, but only you in a modest lifestyle, so maybe not.
So no, unfortunately, they will happily have you stay, but they will not provide accommodations for your friends.
Yeah, it's free healing, but not free lodging. So... To the tavern we go.
Salted Water.
Okay.
Alright, so traveling through the merchant district, you do come across a relatively higher end establishment than you used to. It has been very recently whitewashed. It looks nice, as it's got what looks like sandalwood or maybe even dry wood that has just been treated properly, hoisting it and holding it in place. And stepping through, you see that it is a split area where there is both a dining area off to one side, and then there is a more slightly smaller tabled off area for people who just seem to be drinking. And behind the bar is a very tanned, almost sun-kissed skin of a elven woman whose red hair kind of tangles down her back in a very long ponytail. And she just gives you a smile that has almost a buck tooth and split. Hi there, how are you doing this evening? What can I help you with? Food, dinner, place to stay?
Just a private room and
beer.
Beer. And as many flagons of ale as you can serve us.
Okay, I can do all that, no problem. Well,
and you wanted room. Sorry, we'll double check because I'm dealing with my fucking Discord as I'm dealing with everything else.
drinks are a pittance at only 5 silver apiece. And that'll get you our finest brew of ale. Rooms themselves will fetch you... Rooms themselves will fetch you 2 gold piece a night. If I disappear, I apologize, but my Discord is about to crash.
I don't know, are we just looking for some privacy, or are we looking to bunk down in town?
Let's bunk for a day. Why not?
Yeah. We can handle bunking for a day easily enough.
So, it's gonna be what? Who's bunking with who? Everyone is here in their own room. What's that?
I'll stay with how many people in a room?
May have lost Lake.
Yeah, I think we lost Lake.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna hobble to a bathroom again, so I'll be right back.
Break time.
Well, that was annoying. Alright, I'm back.
He's back.
They're all taking a break.
Yep.
Well, someone.
Everybody ran up, took a break. All right, well, we'll call this a 10-minute break, and we'll come back at 15 minutes.
Perfect.
10-minute break
what?
for 15 minutes. Got it.
We'll come back at 15 minutes because everybody has different hour time zones, so at 15 minutes makes sense.
Okay.
So see you all in 20.
Is Joseph still there? No.
I can pretend to be Joseph if you like.
I was just wondering if. I was wondering what he was doing. So, Joseph, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just sitting here. I don't know. I don't even know.
Jeez. Because we were thinking about bunking, and I'm like, I don't know if Clay's staying or if he's leaving. That was my thought. I'll be right back.
Is Chris still here? Guess not.
Alright, now I'm back.
I am back if you're waiting for me. Still late.
He's here, but right when you left, he reappeared. Which is usually how it goes. Hey Balin, did you want Glassstaff's book to like start out your magic spell?
Are you done studying it?
I got 2 more spells.
I mean, absolutely. If you don't need it, no one else here is going to use it, and it'll help me kind of further my schooling.
It's just something to study.
Can add a character? Can you reuse spell books like that?
Yeah, it's just the scrolls you can't. So the scrolls will disappear after you use it. But the books you can.
Oh, kick ass. I mean, I'll be taking wizard next level, so I can start inscribing or whatever, learning the spells like and putting it in my spell book, right? I don't know how to play wizard yet.
Well, I would say out of character, or it would make it a little cheaper because you have to buy your own book, and that's like 10 gold.
Okay. That makes sense.
Or have a shit ton of papers everywhere and be unorganized. It's up to you.
Okay. So I could just take last ass book and make it my own.
Yeah, essentially, that's what I was thinking.
That sounds like a Balin thing to do. Just kind of like a found. Yeah, this is mine now, and I'm gonna make it mine because I
100% sounds.
I
like a
robbed
Balin
someone
thing.
for it. What's that?
What? Huh?
Hey, I got.
I come back to I robbed someone for it. I'm like, I didn't make a check for that.
Yes, you did. You definitely did. It happened months and months ago. Phil Dennis just gave Balin Glassstaff's spellbook
Well, when I'm
as
done
like
with it.
his when he's now that he's done with it, or when he's done with it.
Yeah. Which I probably will be once we get some money.
So, drinks are passed out to those who order them, and she begins to pass out keys to anybody who would also buy who will be buying their room.
Let me just take it off the top, guys.
Sure.
All right, I'll cover it just out of pocket for now, so I'm not out of character. So I'm not like reaching in and opening up chests and chests of gold in front of hundreds of people. So, how many rooms did we decide? Me and Blinkshaw. Are we doing two to a room? How many go in one room?
Two or
This
three.
will stay in whatever room is keeping all the gold in it.
Yeah, I feel like it would probably be 2 rooms if we can manage 3 people in one of the rooms.
Yeah. I have a bedroll. I don't think much room.
The small ones. Yeah. To be clear, the main goal of this was getting a secure private place where we can, get heaps and heaps of money out and count it slowly without prying eyes on us, and then we're gonna spend the night in 2 rooms. So I will give her 4 gold for the rooms.
Okay.
And I will give her. You said it was 5 silver per person for the drinks.
Per drink.
We have,
Yes.
just per drink or per all the drinks?
Per drink.
It's expensive.
Very
buy my
fine
own.
ale.
I bought my
Damn.
own.
This is some very top shelf stuff.
Damn city city prices. So that's yikes.
That's you like your mic's messing up.
Yeah, someone's mic is going nuts. Are there only 5 of us right now? Balin, Blinkshaw, Leo, Clay, and Bliss.
Is my
right?
mic that's going nuts?
Now it's fine.
Now it's fine.
I must have not have
Oh.
brushed it when I was taking the drink.
Okay.
Okay, so I will give her 4 gold and 25 silver out of my pocket. Take that off the top when we go inside.
So you'll happily take that and pass out 2 keys to you. You all enjoy y'all's stay here now.
What's an EP to a silver again? 10?
5.
5? Okay. Oh,
No, wait. 5 silver is 1 electrum.
Okay, so 5. Yeah, that's what I needed. Okay, cool.
The way you said it was like but you said it backwards. I wanted to double check
Okay.
that I had that right.
Got it. Okay, I just gave her 4 gold and 25 silver and took it out of my thing, and then we post up, and everyone watches Blink's hands while we steadily count the cash.
Alright.
Blink's hands.
So, counting the cash. Oh, my Google crashed. Now I gotta bring up the page again. That's fine. I can do this. All right. So as you count out the crash, the words just don't want to flow properly in the slightest.
Well,
As
you
you
add it all
count
up.
out your newfound loot, you finally get a total feel for what was in the chest you originally found and gave to the dragon. In total, that was 90 gold pieces, 160 silver pieces, and 700 copper pieces.
700 copper. I was way off.
Well, I did say it was like 2.5 times more than the other one, almost.
Right.
You kept just shooting up wrong numbers. Each of these silver goblets that have moonstones in them, Blinkshaw, you would appraise them at about 60 gold apiece. The 3 diamonds, you would appraise at 100 gold apiece.
All right. So 240.
And the loose gold that you managed to pick up from the treasure around, there was 800 silver and 150 gold.
That's a
Hold on
lot
a
of
second,
loot.
Let me redo all this. 3 diamonds is 300. And I'm sorry, what was the heaps again? One more time.
800 silver, 150 gold.
50 gold. All right, hold on one second. Still. Anyone remember that Fievel An American Tale story? Like the cartoon from the early 90s?
I know who Fievel is, yes.
If anyone
Really
remembers
embarrassing story of me when I was a kid. We'll not talk about it. Let's move on.
If anyone remembers the cockroach that adds up all the coins, that's what I feel like Balin is at this point. Just like, and
That I don't remember.
Like getting electrocuted and just keep on counting.
Yep. I don't think it was a cockroach. Was it? I thought it was a grasshopper or some sort, or some kind of water bug.
I thought it was a cockroach, but either way, yeah.
I'm happy to have the money.
I'm almost done.
You all count out and count out and count out. And as Blisk is not doing any of the counting, he's just admiring the sheer quantity of this loot. But as you come to the end, he's just kind of,
You know, you promised me like 150 gold pieces, right?
Remember I brought you back from bankruptcy.
Yeah? I didn't ask you to do that.
Yeah, you did. You definitely did. Like a day before when I said if I had a chance to tell me yes, please.
No, I didn't. But I
Yes,
was
I did.
Felicia that saved my life, wasn't it?
he kind of looks over at Felicia.
I woke up on your shoulder.
It was not me. It was Balin. I'm sorry.
In the way only Balin can, he goes, nee, 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 nee.
Well, you promised
Alright.
to pay me. I didn't promise to pay you.
Well, I mean, we can kill you now if you want.
If you think you
He's the-
can. Mr.
don't
can
think-
barely handle dragon without goblin help.
Says the goblin who misses pot shots when I've got him wrapped up in a web.
Yeah? Says the guy who tries to cast spells on him when he's 100 feet up. I hit him with 2 crossbows.
I at this point stop laughing about their arguing and say we're going to split this up fairly and evenly, just like we do with all of the loot.
All right, so
I knew I was being lied to, and he kind of kicks a coin off into the middle of the room.
I did not say he was going to get most of it. I said, oh wait, yeah, never mind.
You did. You absolutely promised him that you would give him, it was the quantity of the small chest plus a cut of whatever was in the
Oh, I
dragon's
never said
hoard.
that. I was adding up
Around
everything.
100 gold pieces.
You
I
do.
was adding up everything. He'll probably make it.
I say, Blisk, look at your sword. And I wait for
Yeah,
him to.
I pay for this sword. I actually pay for it.
I agree, but you paid for it with money that we split evenly. It's worked out very well for all of us so far, including that shiny sword with a gem in it, and it will continue to work out very well for you by splitting.
Even though you're on my side.
At which point his face kind of drops into a frown.
But you guys let him get away with the emerald. You're gonna look so pretty on my sword.
Even like whatchamacallit, like even though you're sticking up for like Balin's point of view in this one, Balin will actually like say like under it, don't you dare teach him humility. Don't you dare teach him humility. Don't you ruin him. Everyone is going to get 155 gold, 187 silver.
Just type it out. Don't say it.
I am. I'm putting it in the thing as well.
Because I can't remember that, and I have to make changes to things too. Fat stack goblin over here.
1 extra gold piece, Blisk gets. There you go. You made more than everybody else.
So he starts to count it, and he just kind of.
This is what I was promised, right?
Yeah, it's way over 150 gold, and you got more than all of us.
Make a persuasion check.
It's
I'm not
true.
wrong.
He got a natural 1 on his insight.
Oh my god, crushed!
He just kind of.
He just makes it up. I could buy another sword with this.
I'm overweight now. I can't move.
It's a good thing you have a horse.
Yes.
Yeah, at this point, I think we're all going to be trading stuff in. Or cashing in gold somewhere.
Even if I cash in all the gold I'd probably still be overweight.
I get one of the goblins too, right?
I tell Filthiness that I'll carry his form.
Well, I'll probably be spending most of it right now anyway, but still.
All right, never mind.
I'm just debating if a means to carry it is better than spells. You know?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
I think spells. I think spells is the winner there.
about.
Alright.
Because those are things that you will use for a long time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they'll probably keep us alive a lot.
So it's still actually relatively early in the day. So if you guys would like to go out and see what else you can find in the city, you are more than welcome to.
Hell yeah.
I am going to actually. Never mind.
Wait, did that list there, did you cash in the mugs already, or the diamonds?
Oh, I think I did include. Yeah, I did include all. Yeah, so actually, I'm gonna redo this. I included.
So you'll get straight trades for those, so you can just keep that.
Okay.
Unless we
Let's
want
go
to
to the
keep
bank real
one.
quick.
Yeah.
Blisk wanted one, but under the assumption that he was getting the gold for it anyway, so he doesn't seem to care about the difference.
Okay, then the numbers remain the same.
Just for simplicity's sake. Make things easy on us.
Yeah, pretty much. So 188, 3. While we're shopping, if we're making lists here, I would like to, when I'm not near Blisk, I want to buy I want to get something that is like the exact size and weight of a platinum piece, but not actually a platinum piece. And I'm going to have it engraved that says, "Get your hand out of my pocket, Blisk." And I'm going to carry that in my purse next time he tries to pickpocket me. Because I know he's going to reach for the platinum one.
So you have to go to a specialty store, an artisan store, and that's kind of that would be a lengthy process of, you would have to go to like a blacksmith and get something measured out and molded. And then it would need to be engraved. Actually, you could probably get most of it done from a blacksmith itself. He could get it cast in iron, and if you wanted it to actually be plated with something like a faded silver to make it look platinum, it would run you, all in all, this iron would be pretty cheap, but the platinum, the coating, it would run you probably about 15 gold pieces.
No, I actually don't care about that because he's going to be going through my pocket dark. So he's just going to be feeling around for platinum-sized pieces because he knows what platinum is now. So once he pulls it out and sees it's iron, it's going to have a little middle finger engraved on one side and the words on the other. I'll just buy the iron and the
That would just be a gold piece then, for time and from work.
That is well worth it. I'm going to put it on my sheet and take a gold off.
The actual worth of it would probably be less than a copper, but
don't care.
That's just the time and effort put into the single iron piece. That's great. And you take an inspiration for that because it's just fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Would anybody else like to look for something specific? This is an extremely large city. You could find a lot of stuff here.
I'm going to save. Sorry, go ahead, Phyllis.
I was like, should we get saddles and bags
Yes.
for the horses?
Yes, we
There
should.
are stables that you could find and procure that for, and they'll give you the standard prices from the PHB.
I assume that I have bought one. I will.
I'm sorry if this is being kind of rushed along. I'm trying to consolidate most of this, so with the last hour we can use for post-campaign stuff.
Yeah, agreed. And then is the rusted axe that I have?
Yes, Hugh.
Q, and actually, let me post a. There we go. There's my axe. In Discord. And
wow,
do I need to get that sharpened by a specific blacksmith and the rust cleaned off, or can the blacksmith in Phandelver do that for me?
So inquiring about that here, this will be something you have to inquire about. I was also assuming you take it to the same blacksmith that Balin would have taken it to. Assuming you guys were still traveling as a group in the city, with the exception of Blisk being kind of let off at some point when Balin was doing his shopping at the blacksmith just for the joke to actually land properly. So the blacksmith will take a moment and kind of like check it out, but as he kind of takes a whetstone to it and attempts to clean it, it doesn't clean. And when he tests the blade, it is sharp as it's ever been.
All right, then I am not going to get it cleaned.
It is apparently the nature of the blade that it just looks rusty. It is still, and you heard Russell Wire mention that it is a +1 weapon, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
So I need to add that in, but I will do that.
All right.
Dennis, I assume you need to go to a magic shop, and I would like to see what magic items they happen to have at the magic shop while you go there.
As Holiness just goes absolutely quiet.
Wait, I'm sorry?
Blade Charles asking you a question.
Oh, I was listening. I was typing.
I assume that you need magic things at the magic shop, and so I would like to accompany you and see if there are any magic items that are useful at the magic shop.
Yep, I do need magic shit to inscribe into my book.
Where?
Let's go that way.
Searching around in the merchant district for that, eventually you get a couple of, again, friendly people who point you in the direction of a shop known as the Unicorn's Band. It is a very nice looking shop, moderately, not very large, but the signage out front is what appears to be the bust of a unicorn with a very thick chain-linked band wrapped around the base of its horn. And as you step inside, you see that the store itself is only about the size of a front lobby. It goes about 5 feet into a very large desk, and another 5 feet back of open space that just ends in a blank wall with no other doors. And sitting behind it is an elf with stark white hair and bright green, almost glowing eyes with markings that kind of fade down underneath his eyeballs. And he just kind of looks over at you all. Well, hello there. Welcome to the Unicorn's Bond. What can I do you for?
I need some magical ink so I can subscribe to my current magical book.
Well, I can help you with that, no problem. How much would you like? And you don't actually have to answer that question.
That was like, I gotta figure it out.
Well, that's the basis thing I can do. What else would you like?
While he's figuring that out, I ask, what kind of adventuring items do you have?
Oh, we have a host of things. We have, standards potions of healing, more than I can possibly count, running at your average price. Potions of greater healing, potions of superior healing, potions of supreme healing, though we never sell those. Nobody ever comes in and buys those. We also standard your potions of replenishment. Things not often found in the lesser city. Then potions of greater replenishment and so on and so forth.
What is replenishment?
So a potion of replenishment is a homebrewed item where drinking it, you roll a D2. You get that many spell slots back.
Oh, wow.
What? How much is that? How much is that?
That is 150 gold pieces. Sorry, no, it's 100 gold pieces. I had to remember the price I had quoted already. I had it written down, but I thought it was 150. But no, it is 100 gold pieces each.
Knowing that exists is good, but I'm not sure I can afford them right.
And you get 1 to 2 spell slots.
You roll a D2 and you get that many spell slots back.
Is it that many levels of spell slots, or?
So if you were to roll a 2, you could get 2 first level spell slots back at your choice.
Okay, but you can't get any second level spell slots. It's just first.
You could. It is the numbers have to add up.
Okay. So it's kind of like arcane recovery, but it's
Essentially, yes.
Okay. That's pretty nice. Are there any armors or equipment that you have?
Well, we have a selection. Nothing truly heavy. We don't have any plate mail, or in fact, I don't think we have any splint mail either. But we do have things. I know we have a very nice breastplate for sale. Though it might be a bit pricey, you never know.
It probably is, and I'm looking for something heavy.
Well, we have a wide variety of chainmail. It's only 500 gold pieces.
I'm happy to hear that. I might be back.
There's other things. We have goggles of night, help you see in the dark. Only 250. We have a couple of pearls of power. Once a day, they'll allow you to get back one of your spell slots, as they use in the wizarding world. Those renew 350.
The goggles were 250, you said?
Yeah.
Gold? All right, never mind. Just wanted to keep a note of that.
That's pretty amazing for you.
I know, I don't think I have that much gold.
How much do you need?
I'm not sure if I want to spend everything on it as well, now that Phil Dennis can give me that thing, and I'll eventually be able to cast it too. But
Yeah,
I need...
That's a spell
Is
slot.
it-
I think, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know about when he makes the pebble, but... Platinum is 10 gold, right?
Yes.
So I'd be about 33 short. No, 100 silver is a gold.
100 or 10?
Oh, is it 10 silver to gold?
I think so.
Oh,
You go with everything except for Electrum. It's 10 to the 1 of the next tier.
okay,
so 10
so a
copper,
copper.
1 silver, 10 silver, 1 gold, 10 gold, 1 platinum.
Okay. Then, with every ounce of coin on me, I'd be 14 gold short, but that's everything I've got.
Is it something you want that bad or no?
I mean, I don't think so right now. I mean, if later on, if we're doing better off, I can always come back here and try and buy something like that. But it seems like it makes more sense to hoard gold and save it up for weapons and more helpful items, unless you guys think I'm crazy.
I think you're crazy.
You're a
But
little
that's
crazy.
just me. You can't take it with you. You know, when you die. Because you didn't buy something.
No, I'm still looking. Just, I'm not sure if I want to spend all of it in one place.
Quick question I know that it's already 9:30. Do you want for things like this, do you want us to, instead of trying to figure it out now, look to see if there's anything we want that's like a magical item or something like that, and ping you later to see if it's something we could buy during the downtime?
That gets into the awkward thing where you start looking into the DMG, just like, do I want to buy this, and I would have to start coming up with items for every single magical item, and I don't want to.
Nope, makes sense.
No, like, I'm glad they're out there, and like I'm going out of character. I'm planning to come back, but I definitely don't want to spend everything we just made. Right.
You know, it was an issue of price. There are other things you could purchase. We have a
That's
wand
what
of
I'm waiting-
lights. Only 60 gold pieces and
What was it again?
a wand of lights. It's a magical wand. With it, you can cast the spell light up to 5 times a day.
What else?
Well, I could go on and on and on, but none of this is interesting you. I'm afraid I don't. It's hard to say. I don't have a book or ledger, something that you could look at.
So I can let him know that from my perspective, I look to keep our friends alive. Other than potions, is there anything that will help save their lives?
Oh. Well, there are certain things, pendants that can make things easier. There's one, no, it's pendant of wound closure. Sorry, periapt of wound closure. Has an uncanny knack of whenever somebody gets knocked upside the head, finds themselves unconscious, keeps them alive so long as they, well, maintain that way.
And how much is that?
Oh, that would run you 450 gold.
I was gonna say we should just have Clay buy that, just as a way to spend his gold at the end.
There you go.
Critically fails all of his saves.
Yeah, I got this for you for Christmas, and now I poof.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you might have that will keep me unseen or unheard, so I don't have to be killed and healed?
Hmm. You carry an assortment of potions. Would that be something that you would want? There are always potions that can make you invisible.
How much do you sell this for, by the way? That is something I'm interested in.
Well, if you're having a hard time affording everything else, he kind of gives you a coy smile.
Oh. Well, if they're that expensive, then they're that expensive, and we can move on.
Do you have a stronger shield than normal?
A stronger shield? You don't carry many of those. You don't see many of those made. Those are around 400 apiece.
Ooh.
I'm basically asking about a +1 shield.
Yeah,
Oh.
stronger shield. Literally just the word stronger.
I am close to that, but not quite. All right. Well, unfortunately, it seems that we will have to save up a bit more before we come back.
We always accept trains as well. Scrolls, potions, other such things. I have a very keen eye for that sort of thing. And as he says this, he kind of moves his hand to the side and kind of like he's going to rub his temple. But as he rubs his temple, you see when he moves it up, a pair of glasses just kind of appear on his face and they kind of slide into position.
How much does making scrolls cost? You know?
Well, to make a scroll, you have to scribe the scroll. And I have to look this up in another book. Give me a second.
I was really
there is a precedent for this.
Yeah, for downtime reasons, like it's just sell shit.
Alright. Alright, well, if you're doing this for downtime, we can handle this in downtime.
Yeah, that was a reason for it.
Alright, so we can handle that in downtime.
So, you mentioned when the glasses appeared, was that something I could check with perception? Because there's another item I want to ask about that Balin would know of I don't want to ask about in front of Blinkshaw. And that might be it.
I guess there's one more item I'll ask about, which is boots that can help me move a little bit faster, especially in combat. As long as they would be under 300 gold.
I have an idea of what you're looking for, but I'm afraid we don't actually have any of those available. No, the last one was purchased a while back by a dwarf, actually, much like yourself. I think he was a rock seeker?
Oh, that is interesting to know.
Would you happen to remember how old he was?
Oh, no.
Or what color his beard was?
He introduced himself, but he kept talking and talking about what his... As I look up and try and remember which one of these, because it wasn't the... Baden Rockseeker, yes, that one.
One that's still alive.
Kind of shoot Blinkshaw a look. No, is that the one that's still alive?
No.
Yeah, no, that's the one that's dead in the front of the cavern, I think.
Did we never searched them?
You did search him. You just saw a pair of boots, and nobody thought it was magical.
Damn
Because
it.
nobody rolled very well.
Yes, he might still be there. I don't know. Probably not.
Boots? I don't remember boots.
Pretty sure that the other brother took him back. We'll
They
check.
did
though.
recover his body.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him anyway, personally.
I think we should go find Thunder or whatever his name is, Gilton. But okay. You know what I really think are cool? Like a pair of invisible gloves to keep my hands warm. Shoot it. Look at the person running behind the counter.
Oh my god.
We don't carry anything of that quality.
Rats, they really like the
And he
color.
gives you a very stern look.
I know. I really like the
don't
color of my
endorse that
hands,
side
but
of-
they're
We
always so
don't
cold.
endorse that mentality. Yeah.
Rats. It's not necessarily bad. It's for lock picking.
Right. And
We're
seeing
adventure
through walls
seekers.
is for entirely noble reasons, I'm sure.
We are adventurers. We just spent the better part of in a rescue a small town. There are plenty of locked doors that need to be opened.
I shake my
I'm
head.
sure you'll
at this
manage.
point.
I'm done.
It's not a lie. It's as correct as the other reason you want them.
I will go pray at my temple, and I'd like to ask them if they want to set up an outpost in Phandelver for Helm.
I'm sorry, did you say for Helm?
Yeah, my god.
I could have swore that your god was Torm.
Helm, god of protection.
Hold on, I gotta double check this. Yeah! You're right. Helm, the god of protection. Torm is the god of courage and self-sacrifice. I got those backwards. Whoopsie! Not the first time I've gotten the gods mixed up in the past couple weeks. As can be attested to by present parties. Anyways, speaking to the temple, it is something that could be done, absolutely. That will be something that would be required for Phandelver to be very specifically ensure that it's protected. They don't want to invest in moving a temple and setting up there. While it'd be great for the people there, and they'd be happy to do so, it's more of it needs to be secured.
So it is not something where they would allow me to set up an outpost there.
If you would like to do that, that would be something they would be absolutely fine with.
Okay, then I will.
They would give you their explicit permission, and should you reach a sufficient point and get word to them, they would be happy to begin investing from that.
Excellent. Okay.
And it becomes a point where, as you're about to leave, one of the other priests who, no one in the Temple of Helm wears robes. They all wear armor. It is almost exclusive to them, whether it's chainmail or a breastplate or, at the very least, some form of leather, an extra form of protection. He kind of approaches you, and see, this is not a familiar-looking man, but there's an air about him that kind of reminds you of someone you met in Phandelver, where his ears are not quite as pointed as an elf's would be, and despite the fact that he has very slim, slender features, his hair has started to gray around the sides, and he just kind of gives you a nod. You know, that would be very good business for the Order, if I'm right. He kind of pats you on the shoulder. We'll see what we can do to help you with that.
I thank him, and I was just about to say I'm going to be wearing my ring at this point in the temple, and just kind of have it on. It's been long enough since Phandelver, where I don't think it would cause a stir from the group that they would really recognize it.
Regardless, he kind of gives you a nod.
Take care, Chevaublingshaw. Do well.
I return the greeting, or the farewell.
He kind of turns back into the temple, goes back to some business as if he had not stepped away at all. Is there anything else anybody would like to do in Neverwinter before you cut loose and start finally heading back to Phandelver?
If we're calling it, if we're gonna bail out at this point, before we go, since I didn't find anything else of interest, I probably will buy those goggles of night. Provided someone other than Bliss can advance me a loan, of 24 gold pieces and a little bit more to get me by afterwards.
I will give you that loan. You have an extra gold pieces.
An extra what?
Well, a total 40 gold pieces that I give you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I will go back and buy that for 250 if that's still an option.
Yeah.
And that
So-
leaves me with 16 gold in my pocket, and the other one is playing the piano.
You go back and you arrange the deal. And when you do, when you set your gold on the counter, there's a weird moment where like the gold just kind of fades away down into the bottom of the counter, and then he holds a ring up and kind of wraps it on the front of the counter. And when it does, in the same spot where the gold went down, a slot kind of opens up, and a pair of goggles that look almost like they would fit right at home on an owl just kind of slides up and sits out on top of the counter.
Take a look. Can I make an art? I mean, is it rude to do an Arcana check to see if they're correctly done and functioning?
I mean, you could put them on and just see if it looks any brighter.
To the corner.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, I just put them on. I hit the button.
So you go to put them on, and he kind of waves his hand through the air, and all the lights in the area dim. But as you slide them on, it's like the lights have just come back on again.
So wait, do
They
I think
appear to
they
be working fine.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They appear to be working fine. I don't check an insight check or like that. I'm like, all right, well.
You cannot insight check the DM. It does not work.
I'm insight checking the guy selling me the goggles.
Your insight
hasn't
says
said
that was a
anything.
bad insight check.
All right.
Your insight check tells you that you are a very untrustful person. But that's not what I was insight checking. That's what it tells you anyways.
That's true. I'm playing my character well. All right. Yeah. Thank you. And that is
Untrustful.
attunement.
Distrustful is the word that I was looking for there. My brain is going to shit day by day by day. Anyways.
I'm going to buy also one more healer's kit. Because I
Alright.
don't think they had any more back in Phandelver.
Okay. You can easily find a healer's kit in one of the numerous general stores that is spread throughout the merchant district.
These are goggles of Night Lake that I
Yeah.
just bought. I can't find if they require attunement. They do not, doesn't seem.
They do not require attunement.
All right, awesome.
Did Hugh Grant require attunement?
Yes, because that is a +1 weapon with a specific ability.
Alright. So I just confirm with the group that it's okay that I attune to it.
Yeah, I already attuned to the spider staff without asking.
Cool. Done. Is anything else for you?
Philinus is still trying to figure out how many spell slots he needs, apparently.
I already settled that. I'm like,
Alright.
I bought 100 gold worth of ink.
Well, as the day kind of goes on, you all finish your shopping. Blisk appears to be in modest spirits, but looking at him, nothing appears to have changed in the slightest. His blade is still the same as it was before. He does not appear to have adorned his crossbow in any manner. He just appears to be in very good spirits for whatever reason.
Oh God, what did he do?
I asked Blisk if he had a good day today.
A very good day. I
Good.
went up to the top district.
Oh, and what did you do in the top district?
Balin's already getting the horses ready. Run, run.
I met some people. I walked into the big castle. They didn't seem to notice that I was there. And I talked to the tallest guy on the big throne. And I told him they had a really nice throne. And he ought to make their own out. And then when they were throwing me out, I picked the guy's pocket. And he had a diamond in his pocket. I had a good day.
Pretty well done, Blisk. Very well done.
Who plays their guards in diamonds?
Mental note. Not coming back to Neverwinter with Blisk.
I mean, at this point, we have to just get on these horses before someone screams, "Who goes there?"
Oh, it's criminal scum.
No, I called it. We're not surprised.
No, nothing appears to happen. 2. Technically, a saddle bag is one side, but you balance it on both sides. It's technically 2 bags.
Oh, so the saddle bags. It's 9 gold total for a pack saddle and saddle, like both bags. Like you don't have to buy 2 saddle bags.
Well, I'm saying that essentially when you buy saddle bags, it comes on both sides, but that doesn't change the weight. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
How many saddles can one saddle hold? Sorry.
So finishing up the shopping, you guys can finish this up as well whenever you would like during downtime, and you all start to make the trek back to Phandelver. There is no real hurry here, but with the horses, you all make much better progress, much better than the first time, and it's kind of an unusual feeling. As riding these horses, it reminds you of the first time that you came down this road and started to cut down the Tribord Trail, not long after Gundren and Sildar themselves had set out ahead of you, saying that they were going to get Phandalin ready and preparing it for the arrival of the supplies. And you travel down the high road, seeing familiar sights, though nothing that seems to be out of the ordinary. But as you cut back onto the Tribord Trail, you even spot out the same log that was eventually pushed off to the side to make way for your passage through. The trail that led north to the hideout that the goblins had originally ambushed Gundren and Sildar themselves, taking them hostage. And you know that off into the far northeast, about a day's travel away, would begin the tree line that hides Cragmaw Castle, where the unfortunate event of Gundren being slain due to a little bit of oversight from the party took place. About another day of travel, and you cut down along the path to the south, and you make your way into Phandalin once more. The city is almost a breath with life. You see members of the Lord's Alliance are continuing to march around, but they have been joined by other individuals who are wearing what look like brown jerkins with silver emblems with green on the top. And as you kind of brush by one of them, some of them kind of stop and offer you waves. Others just going to give you a nod. And as you start to come past Bartha's Provisions, Sildar, who is standing around talking with a few of them, kind of gives them a nod, brushes them off, and gives you a wave. Well, it's good to see you all back. How's your trip?
Quite
Alright.
productive.
Yeah.
Didn't run anything too bad, do you?
You wouldn't believe us if we told you the truth.
But we ran to a dragon.
He opens his mouth like he's about to say something in contrary to that, and then goes to close it, and then when he hears that, he opens his mouth again, closes it. I shouldn't be surprised. You managed to find everything, don't you? I trust you dealt with that, since everyone is still here. Seem to be fine.
We do what we
Yeah.
can.
Clay had a rough time of it, and now he's been struck mute from the experience, but he's still an adventurer with us.
Well, hopefully things can be back to normal. I've been talking with Harbin, by the way, about the manor property. Just seeing what I could do, just helping you guys out after all you've done for Phandalin and, well, everything. I couldn't work him down on the price, but I did manage to get him to agree to, at the very least, starting to rebuild the manor and clearing out what's already there for you. If you all do decide to buy it.
I do
So we
think
get to buy the property, but not the repairs.
Essentially, he's saying that if you buy the property, he's talked Harbin into just going ahead and doing the rebuilding of the manor, you know, pro bono.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're just putting in the commitment to pay installments on the headquarters. That's all.
I asked what is the what do we need down now? That makes sense.
I think he's mentioned something about the final price for the land being 1,000 gold pieces.
Mhm.
But that was just
100.
for the land itself. That didn't include what you would have done on the manor.
But
So-
I think we said that. Did we have to pay all of that right away, or?
No, that would also have included. You could have set up a plan where you'd be paid. You would essentially pay per month, or to add on to cover the 1,000 gold pieces in total.
I think we should do it.
I agree.
I think you should too, which is why we,
Definitely.
on behalf of the Lord's Alliance, and thank for everything you've done, I've gathered up some funds to help cut that price in half. Couldn't cover it all, but we could do this much at the very least.
Flabbergasted.
I know.
Thank Sildar and ask him if there's anything that we can do in return.
Everything you guys done, having you live nearby would be, well, I'm not going to say reward enough because that would be very cliche, but would certainly go a long way.
We'll take the cliche.
Phandalin needs its heroes. And people are starting to talk about the frozen cloaks. And even as he kind of looks over his shoulder, you see a couple of individuals who walk by kind of point at you. One of them offers a friendly wave, and they kind of turn off. They appear to go into the Stonehill Inn. Something of celebrities here now.
Thank you, Sildar. I don't.
You earned it. Just
Don't know
wish
what else to
Gundren
say.
was here to see it.
Us too.
Us too. Us too.
It's what happens sometimes when you're in this line of work. You have to accept it and move on. He's in a better place now.
Let's keep making this place a better place. Also,
Indeed. Speaking of, I have guard shifts to continue scheduling. He gives a nod, he turns, and he heads off towards the town master's hall.
So he's out of earshot. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Wow.
I'm actually going to.
them.
He gave you 500 gold pieces. Why do you hate him so much?
Whatever the monthly arrangement is that we all have to pay per person, I will actually pay as if it were 1,000, and you guys can take the difference.
Sure.
knowing what you have in gold right now, I say no. That's all right, Balin.
But this is on the
Just
long
like-
term.
just like we split the gold evenly for our spoils, we'll split it evenly for the costs.
Well, the
I don't think you're grasping it. I don't want his money because he's full of shit, and they're using us. So I'm going to pay more than you guys over the long term, just so I can sleep at night.
I don't think you're grasping the fact that I realize that, and I'm just forcing you to feel like you have to pay the equal amount, so to either let me down or give Sildar what he wants.
I don't think
It's
you
okay.
understand that we have a share in that cave now.
Oh no, I do. That's what I'm
Sure.
saying.
I was like, it seemed like a no-brainer. Like, oh, just buy it. It'll pay for itself eventually, right?
I'm not refusing the Transitory Matter. I'm agreeing with it. And I know I'm not letting Blank Shell down because I'm exercising a bit of charity, which our faith of protection believes in. So I'm sure you guys won't mind.
I'll take the money that Balin's paying extra and siphon it towards the
Thieves
Temple
Guild,
to Hell.
Thieves Guild.
which is where I'm running the Thieves Guild, so that's fine.
Let's go and check it out.
Somewhere Mino just looked up into the air confused. Which would be a very significant talent, because the last time you guys checked, you thought he was beheaded.
We'll hang Mino's cloak in the manor as a reminder never to go full Mino.
Do you have it?
Never go full Mino.
Well, we only heard stories about a hobgoblin. You could easily just find Glassstaff. I don't think we ever
You
saw
bought
it.
I want to make my way off there and claim my room
Claim your room where?
in the manor.
Oh, okay, sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear you. Alright, so, over the next 2 months, there is a lot of activity in Phandalin. Sildar is apparently very active in setting up what you come to realize the brown jerkin individuals are the new guard presence of Phandelver. They finally got their own guard force to see to the town's safety and security. Bit by bit, over the next 2 months, the Lord's Alliance members who are keeping security detail here are slowly funneled out, leaving out back to their own respective areas, back to their own respective duties, and you see less of them as time goes on. Another thing that happens in the next 2 months is Nundro finally manages to pick up enough coinage to start hiring individuals, and not to mention bringing you all in, as you agreed to do so, to start finally clearing out what is left of Wave Echo Cave. We're going to theater of mind all through this. This is all going to be narrative until we go into the end of the session here, and we can start talking about what everybody does afterwards. And there is a terrible event, terrible fights with extra hired adventurers where many people who are brought in, almost doubling the size of your party, to clear out the fabled flame skull that was originally spotted out by... Oh my god, I can't remember his character's name.
Us.
Layar.
Layar. I kept wanting to say Danyar for some reason, but his name was Dan. That's what was getting me. Danyar! That would have been a good name. Yeah, so it's brutal, and upon encountering it, it proves itself very capable with magic. As you attempt to use your plan to silence the skull, it floats higher into the air and begins to rain down fireballs upon your group. At least in minor cases. Yeah. And as it becomes a hard-fought battle, but you do finally manage to bring it down, it is horror when the next day reports come from the mine that the flame skull itself has brought itself back and continues to rain basically terror on the miners who are starting to come in and work there. And it takes a few weeks, over 3, before Phildennis, you finally discover in a book that these flame skulls they will continue to regenerate indefinitely until you can sprinkle holy water on their remains. And this took a trip back to Neverwinter just to find something that you had to search out specifically. But with that dealt with, the rest of Wave Echo Cave falls in due time. You all encounter a horrid being that is a single giant, what looks like an eyeball and mouth, with 4 tentacles coming out of its side. One that Sildar, who was with you at the time, fears is a creature he knows as a beholder, but drops much easier than he expects as you all slay it without too much issue. And time passes mostly uneventfully. With the payment plan set up, as you begin to pay for Tresendar Manor, eventually the town itself deems it renamed as the Frozen Cloak Manor, in honor of the people who reside there and the heroes who eventually came to Phandalin and just did so much good for it, found Wave Echo Cave, and began the legend that is the Frozen Cloaks. So during these 2 months, what is everybody's specific plans? What would they like to be doing while this downtime is passing?
I want to collect all that loot we just got in Theater of Mind.
There was no loot to be found in the Theater of Mind, believe it or not.
Oh.
And believe it or not, in these 2 months, Wave Echo Cave has actually has still not paid any dividends. As after this 2-month period, it is just starting to get to the point where it can produce a profit.
We expected. This was a long-term venture.
Yes.
Oh, just cleaning out the manor as best as I can, claiming a room on the top level, because it's more stairs for me to walk on.
I'm going to use my Mason's Tools proficiency to partially help rebuild the manor, but also see if I can actually build a shrine to Helm somewhere in the town if I'm allowed to.
You can absolutely do that, and at one point Sildar even, actually it's not Sildar, it's Darren Eatermath, the fellow member of the Order of the Gauntlet, who suggests that if you would like, you could build a temple adjacent to the manor on your own land. Nobody could tell you couldn't do it, and it would bring pilgrims up to your local abode. People whom you could tell the stories, so on and so forth. Depends on how much attention you want. If you don't want that much attention, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, I was thinking, build it down in the town. I don't want it to feel like people can't approach.
Well, there's always the town green. There's plenty of room there, and I'll see what I can do to help with that.
Thank you.
For me, for 2 months isn't as much time to do this as a long-term goal, but I'm going to begin sneakily spreading the seeds of what I hope to be the Phandelver Thieves Guild one day. And I'm specifically, I'm hand recruiting pretty much everyone that gets to be in it. It's going to be a very much more Robin Hood and his merry men than the.
So, 2 weeks into beginning to recruit for this Thieves Guild, you get a letter that someone is not signed. They would like you to meet them alone at the Phandelver Minor Exchange.
All right.
You're gonna take Charles with you.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll be okay. I'm a frozen.
You show up bright and early on the morning of, and you see that sitting inside is, honestly, the person you expected to be sitting there. It is the familiar face of Hollia Thornton. And as you step inside, she kind of goes from that fake plaster smile she almost always has into a frown and says, "All right, sit down. Close the door."
Kind of shrug my shoulders, wondering when this day would come when Holly took me out, but okay. And I close the door and sit down.
I know what you're doing. I have hands in Phandelver. I have workers in Phandelver. I have people who work for me, very loyal people. This town already has a presence like that. It's not your business. Tell me, you ever heard of the Zentarum?
Have I?
You can make a history check.
I will do so. Come on, here it is. Chicka-chicka. Nah.
You've heard of them. They're one of the major factions that kind of work throughout the Forgotten Realms. Their name comes up about as much as, say, the Lord's Alliance, the Emerald Enclave, the Harpers. But the Zentarum, very specifically, they are after one thing: money, power, the ultimate goal being to just essentially become an untouchable group that is above everything. They are the epitome of what most thieves guilds or even mercenary guilds aspire to be.
Okay.
So, you are cutting in our territory, and we don't take kindly to that. But, as you all do have a name here, and you've done some work, even if you did kill Glassstaff instead of taking him hostage, I could have used those red brands. That would have been so much easier. I'm willing to let you in on a deal. You can work for us. You'll have you'll have your own resources at your disposal, and we can maybe open a few doors for you depending on what you end up doing. Or you can deny the deal, and, well, I would hate to see what happens when the Red Wizards come knocking down on Phandelver's door.
Well, you've given me pretty much 2 great options, but I think I'm going to go with option 1 that doesn't involve the Red Wizards hitting this place and burning it to the ground.
That is a very good choice. Her smile flashes again. So, welcome to the Zentarum. There's no color scheme, wherever the fuck you want. You're a Fang now. Yep. And she kind of reaches into her pocket and she just takes out a very small brooch and she just kind of flings it at you.
I assume I catch it. I'm dexterous.
Make a dex check.
God damn it.
Not the last time she threw something at you.
Yes, so you gotta snatch it out of the air. Make sure you pin it on the underside of your shirt. We don't let everybody know what we're doing. And as you look at it, it appears to be it's like a oblong shape with what looks like a snake that has wings like flying downwards.
I'll cherish it with my life.
You don't have to play coy with me. You're dismissed.
She kind of waves her hand at you.
Until you brought up the Red Wizards, I had such an epic Balin chaotic good go fuck yourself like speech planned, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna burn my town to the ground. Yes, I will join your creepy cult and probably start subverting it, then I'll get me killed later on. But yes. So yeah, I take it.
So there's just a moment where he's about to go out the door, and she just says, "And remember, Balin, there's always someone out there who knows a little more than you do."
Balin turns back and says, "And remember, Halia, you paid me to kill someone that you couldn't handle. I wouldn't send someone like me after me, or I'm going to send them back to you in a fucking bag."
She kind of shrugs. If you're that good at your job, then you'll go far.
He rolls out. She bores him.
She bores him. Alright, so that's Balin dealt with. Unfortunately, we don't have Clay here to do that, because I think Clay left. Oh no, he's here. He's just muted and deafened. So definitely not here.
He's definitely here.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, the one thing I did want to do is ask about learning a tool proficiency.
Yes, you all have time. So you all have, amidst everything else that is going on, 2 weeks of downtime to dedicate to things that you would like to do. For example, Blaishaw has expressed his interest in learning a new tool proficiency. If you would like to scribe some scrolls, Dennis, you could absolutely take the time to do that, and we can go over that. As next session, we're going to be picking up fresh with new players, and I don't want to have any of that bogging down the beginning of the next session.
Sure.
All right. So to scribe a scroll, it takes one. Sorry, no, that's not right. Where is scribing scroll? It takes amount of time and money relative to the level of the spell the character wants to scribe. So essentially, it would take you, depending on what level of spell you would like, it takes more time and more money.
Alright, well, it's a level 1.
You know what? I will just talk to you about this after the session, because this is going to slow this down even more than slowing this down.
Okay.
Because there's literally a chart here that I have to consult for every single question that you ask.
Sounds good.
Besides starting up a Thieves Guild, is there anything Balin would like to try and do?
No, I mean, aside from that, he's going to post up in the manor with everybody else and personalize it and get known around town and all that stuff. But no, he's not. Aside from that, that was his only plan. And I guess whatever he can do to just give Halden and Sildar. I'm not going to be like a horrible criminal. I just want them to be aggravated a lot, and me not being arrested for it.
So what? You like make a habit of stealing copper out of?
No, yeah, like I pay like street urchin, like every third or every half moon. Make sure that the mayor's, has horse manure on his doorstep. If you ever get a chance to trip Sildar and just say sorry, sir, when he's trying to look imposing, do that. I just like torturing nobles because they're hypocrites.
All right, that's a thing that is done. Harbin, you drive nuts. But comes out and says anything about it, because to be the person of the town who denounces the Frozen Cloaks would just be, it would kill his career. Sildar takes it more in stride, but there are times where whenever you go to, try to get one up on him, you just find that, like you go to trip him, and like the second he goes to take a step, he just kind of wraps his arm around your shoulder and he's like, "Come on, why don't you go with me? We can do this together." And he kind of like strong arms you along with him.
I never liked the guy. Okay.
The feeling by the end of the 2 months is mostly mutual. Another thing that should be noted is that as you all are repairing and fixing up the manor, not only do you get a fair amount of help from Darren Edermath, the guy who runs the local orchard, who provides quite a fair bit of lumber. You get a lot of help from a specific woman, the woman who pointed you out Thunder Tree in the first place, the wife of Thel Dendrar, whose name is Myrna. Myrna and her oldest, Nars. They begin to help, essentially working the carpentry work, as her husband was the woodworker and she took over when he passed. Getting the manor in tip-top shape. And after the 2 months of work, the manor is back in good shape. It is no longer run down. It is livable. It's not a nice place to live.
And we have the whole, underground of it.
You do. The cellar is still intact. Though, if you would like, you could also see about closing off the secondary entrance, the one in the caves, just so that people aren't wandering around in the lower levels without without your permission.
Don't want any squatters.
Yeah.
Let's Lost Mine cave in that thing.
You can
We have, like,
honestly with if you mention that to anyone in town, like anybody who you ask would be more than willing. Darren or Sildar would be happy to see if they can find a quarry to bring in extra stones, or
Do we
the
know if
woodworker.
they know about that door?
If you bring it up to them, they would.
I would rather.
Yeah, I think we sealed
we
ourselves.
Take care of that.
You can
Yeah.
seal it yourselves as well with a little bit of time, effort, and
My mason's tools.
Can we
with your mason tools. Yes, with your mason tools and then 2 months of work, you can absolutely do this.
gently lay Nothic's corpse into the rubble and have a little ceremony because we felt bad for killing him?
If you would like, you can do that as well.
Just Blinkshaw singing Amazing Grace.
Really poorly.
So the other weird thing about finding Nothic is that when you find Nothic's body, it has not decayed at all. It's like he died moments before you found him.
Ooh, now I really want to bury him.
Should burn him too.
Sprinkle holy water on him. We don't know how long before he comes back. From now on, we sprinkle holy water on everything. Let's just go with that.
Well, that will settle the Lost Mines of Phandelver, though, guys. That
we
pretty
did
much
it!
sums up. The Frozen Cloak Manor is a fine place for you all to live. Everybody has their own room. Clay, I feel at some point Clay elects to leave and he heads back to his own family. But there is a sad moment where Blisk kind of approaches the group after a month and says, "Guys, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. That dragon almost killed me, and then I was gonna be dead, and then I was gonna be poor. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be dead. I don't want to see Magoliad.
You can just stay here in the manor, and
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay here and take care of the manor."
yeah, make sure no
Perfect.
one comes in. They'll be hauling us gold and money eventually.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of the finances.
Exactly.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I think I actually trust you.
I trust him to skim a good 1 to 2% off the top.
I managed to get this far after all this time, and I couldn't believe it. But now I realize, not the best. Top gob, all day, yeah. Top gob, but not top adventurer. Not the best. I need to retire before something bad comes. I stay here, take care of the house. Besides, I can live like a big up here. Very nice house, clean. I can bathe.
All right, Bliskwell. You're still a Frozen Cloak, and you're in charge. And you're in charge of the manor.
Manor, don't I?
That's what I'm saying. You're the Frozen Cloak in charge of the manors.
I make sure Sildar and Harvin don't come around messing with that.
Yeah, and make sure you mess with them when we're traveling.
At some point during this, I prep in the morning and use the oft-used ceremony skill or spell to give coming of age to Blisk.
I'm gonna allow that just because it may. Just because.
He recognizes.
So
that
you are going to give
staying
up
at
25
home-
gold pieces worth of this for ceremony. I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for this too. Just 'cause it's so appropriate to Blinkshaw.
I feel like that decision was such a smart decision. It represents his coming of age.
Yeah, I think his arc is complete.
It
I
takes,
miss the little guy. Now he's like our Alfred Pennyworth. Like he's our guy in the chair. Eating a
it takes a tough goblin to live. It takes a smart goblin to stop. Blisk has learned. He has seen what lies out there for people who live a more dangerous life than himself. And he's made it this far to realize, I should stop doing this. This is not good life choices. I mean, you guys should probably stop too, but I'm not gonna stop you. Somebody's gotta pay for this place. I'm not paying for this place.
We're not as mature as you.
No, you're not. That means Blisk is the smartest.
the big sign over top of, or like over top of the entrance mantle. I want to carve, "May you never have vitality bankruptcy."
You can do that. That's not a problem. It gets a fair number of questions from your visitors, and it's always a fun story for you to explain. And then you get to introduce them to Blisk, who most people have become familiar with the goblin, and he's become a welcome sight in the town of Phandelver. He's accepted. Whenever they see a goblin wearing a very ice blue cloak, they always know that they're in the presence of good people. Or at least good goblinoids.
I can't wait to like come back to Phandelver like a year later, and Blisk is like really fat, and he's currently gone like, you know, old Elvis on us, and he's like living in excess. It's gonna be awesome.
So, is there anything that you guys would like to do with your manor to set up or leave behind? Is there any like storage you'd like to put things away so that you don't have to worry about it? Because you don't have to take things with you either.
I gotta find.
You have a safe place, and Blisk will promise on his goblin heart, may he never see Magluba yet, that he will look after everyone else's things as if they are other people's things. And by that he means he won't steal them, but he'll protect them because they still have value.
I kind of want a warding scroll. Anyway.
Yeah.
You can do that.
When
You
said
can
other
invest in that.
people's thing, other people's things what scared me. I'd rather he said like they were his thing.
Well, I was my thought with that is like if I said if he'll look after them as if they are his own things, there might be a point where Bliss thinks these are my things, and then they wouldn't be stealing. It would just be these are my things. What are you talking about? I'm the only person who lives here. Crazy old goblin.
I will definitely leave at least my my dragon cultist costume that we used, for later.
Yeah. That is all stuff that you can leave behind, no problem. Just make like a separate spot on your sheet for it and just type it out. Or you can just leave it and uncheck it so it doesn't count against your weight. However you want to do that, that's fine.
Should we make a trophy room or just keep our own trophies in our own place?
Yes.
There would definitely be
That's
a
a
room
good
that you could set up as a trophy room.
I'll leave all my
No real
trophies in
students. This manor, all in all, has probably about 15 bedrooms. So there's plenty of room for you to set up as you would. It is a very large house.
We'll definitely set up a room with like a red cloak, a cultist robe. If a scale fell off the dragon that we can take.
You didn't find any scales on the dragon, unfortunately.
Balin reaches around his neck like, oh, we can hang this up, and he's still wearing the anvil chain around his neck. The one that opened the
key,
tubes.
yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I mean,
the key that actually freed Dundro.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do like an Airbnb.
Yeah, come, 10 gold per head to see the Frozen Cloaks trophy room.
I like this idea. I really like this idea.
I don't think most
I
people...
don't know all the stories, but I can tell them the stories. I'll tell them every story.
Don't tell them.
I'll make some of them up, but I'll tell them the stories.
Not all the stories.
Don't tell the Gunrun story.
I won't tell that story. That story didn't end so good for you guys. I gotta pay extra for that.
What are some of the other trophies? We have the anvil key, the red cloak. What?
Do you want mine too?
A cultist robe.
The cultist robe, the red cloak, the anvil key. You didn't really get anything from the orcs or your trip over to Agatha. There wasn't really anything left from that.
So we got Thunder Tree, we've got Wave Echo.
Decapitated Jade Frog head from the hideout. You
we still
never
have
saw that.
Yeah, I still have it.
The mug of Hammered Electrum, yeah, that was something else that you found. That was
the mug stays with us.
Yeah, that definitely stays with us. But where?
That's the toast.
Oh, that was in the.
I think that was the loot from Wave Echo Cave too. That was that was on the Black Spider.
Yep.
I had the spider's letter from the original. I forget exactly where we got that. I think it might have been in.
You gave that away.
The spider's
you gave
letter?
that to Halia.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, rats.
Yeah, because that was something she specifically requested for from the Red Cloaks. Like what you got, she wanted you to deal with the leader, and she wanted any correspondence that he may have been keeping, and that was the letter.
And now we understand why. because she wanted to root out who was potential rival.
I imagine you guys will also go by over to the Lion Shield Coster and like ask if they have any of the like the smaller crates with emblem on it, just for honor of like the crate that you got from the hideout that you freed.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything is a story, even if it's not very valuable.
Oh, we definitely hang up a blanket, and if we need to, we can like toss red paint on it to represent all of the bodies and blankets that I had to carry.
Yeah, there were a number of those. There were more of those than could have been counted.
There were.
If you would like to ask any questions, also Curly, you're more than welcome. At this point, we're just kind of out of character, reminiscing on the good days.
I was wondering about the vitality bankruptcy.
So I want to explain this because this is great. This was Balin's idea. So Blisk is a goblin that they encountered. It was the goblin chief that was leading a small band in a raid on them that they killed in an attack. I believe it was an attack where orcs were attacking from one side and goblins were attacking from the other. And they knocked him unconscious to ask him some questions. And after a long story, they found that he basically operated on the concept of money. And essentially, yes, he loves coin. He loves value and material wealth. And one of the points, it was explained to him that being dead was like being essentially bankrupt of life.
Okay.
And that was where vitality bankruptcy come. Essentially, you never find your death.
He didn't understand the big deal about like oh yeah, goblins die all the time. Like, I'm a goblin. Why would we die all the time? I'm like, Blisk, you're the richest goblin in the world now, and if you die, it's like you've got, it's bankrupt of your life force. And then he was like, oh god, and I think that's why he retired, because now he realizes he can lose his wealth.
Sorry, I had forgotten about that specific conversation, but that's exactly why.
But yeah, he started panicking. He was like, oh my god, I gotta save my wealth, which is my life.
That's pretty funny.
Blisk was a beloved character. I loved that he just became a thing. I had fun playing him this campaign.
I got like kind of choked up when he like left the party. I knew it had to happen. Yeah. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I like literally my biggest fear in every death possible encounter was like, you knew Blisk had to get out of the story somehow, and just be like, just to create drama, would be like, and then Venom Fang looks at the goblin that just shot him with a crossbow, and Blisk fails the saving throw. No.
Yeah, goblins are not long for this world. They're not tough creatures.
No, he has to live forever. He's my buddy.
He initially was
I'm
just
his sidekick.
Scout so that he wouldn't take experience away from the party, and then we got into a really rough fight where Clay, his character,
that was the ghouls in Wayback Cave.
Yeah,
he got paralyzed. There was poor positioning. The bard didn't have a healing spell, and he just got eaten alive.
We had 7 rolls out of 10 be a critical one, including one of his death saving throws.
That was a bad encounter.
And,
that was a really bad encounter.
Yeah, I had been paralyzed from another one rolled for the ghouls, so I couldn't healing word him, and then he failed his second death saving throw, and that was that.
I feel like we should tell the story about them, specifically don't tell the story about Gundren. So
oh yeah, I want to hear this.
So eventually they were looking for Gundren Rockseeker, the person who hired them to come down here and find Wayback Cave and help them out. Essentially, well, actually, but he had been kidnapped, and they knew that he was at a place called Cragmore Castle. So when they finally found Cragmore Castle, they found the secret entrance, they went in, and they killed this big but old bugbear named King Grawl. And once they killed him, they killed the doppelganger that was basically working for the Black Spider, and they rescued him. And they told him, all right, that's fine, but we need to finish clearing out Cragmore Castle. We're going to do that, and then we'll come back for you. He's like, well, I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going anywhere. Come and get me when you leave. They went through the rest of the place. They took out an owlbear, the goblins, the hobgoblins. The place was clean, and then they left. They didn't go back for him. And as they were leaving, they were keeping a watch. They found out that another hobgoblin party, one that had been out, named Talgor, came back to the castle, saw everybody dead, and found Gundren. And when they had finally gotten back after taking a rest, they had found that he had already killed him.
Oh.
Because they had just left him there by himself. They had forgotten about him.
And it was a really good, out of character screw up, because I think this happened we paused at the end of a session and picked it up right where we left off the following week, but a week had gone by and none of us really had taken good enough notes to remember. Oh,
Actually,
there
was a week in between where we hadn't played for a week going into that next session. But
Yeah,
I
so
remember
it'd been 2
specifically
weeks.
asking, so there's nothing else you guys would like to do before you leave, right?
Yep.
And they're
I
like, yeah,
remember
no,
that.
there's nothing.
I totally remember that.
All right.
And like I said, we didn't even think about it. Chance. So we went out and had like a long rest in the woods, and we're all like taking our shorter long rest or napping or whatever. And I think it was Chris playing Blinkshaw, just like.
It was Blisk. Blisk showed up and said, so there's nothing that you guys forgot about, right?
Well, I had remembered.
Yeah, Blinkshaw remembered as soon as he
asleep.
started taking the rest, but it was when Blisk showed up that everybody else started to realize they'd forgotten something.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just the way Blinkshaw said it was like, oh god, we forgot about Gundren, and then like Blisk is like, oh, what's up, guys? No, just a bunch of hobgoblins just went back to the oh shit.
Yeah, nobody. Like, it was just one of those things where nobody woke me up to take the next watch, and so I'm sitting here. Like, please wake me up. Please wake me up. Nope.
I'll give some freebies, but sometimes in poignant points like that, I'm just like, you know what? If they remember, they remember. If not, I'm going to let the dice roll as they may on that one. And unfortunately, everybody they forgot.
You mean
that was a pivotal moment, though, because we were like, not you, Blinkshaw, but I mean, like, a lot of us were trending pretty horrible, as horrible people. Like, people in the party at the time were kind of lousy people. We were... Let's just say we were
post Mino.
Yeah, some of us were still on this on the down.
Don't even get me started on the stories with Mino. Mino was a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like after this, it was basically like a huge thing for at least Balin and Blinkshaw, where Balin's like, I'm never gonna be this careless again. Like I'm not gonna let this happen to anyone else again. I'm like, no one else is gonna die by watching it. He started slinking back from evil towards the good. Now he's like almost chaotic good again.
Unfortunately, I had been doing write-ups each week. Unfortunately, life got a bit crazy, and I was traveling 8 weeks in a row, and so I stopped doing them. But is there a way to share those publicly, or is that just?
Well, she's on the game thing, right?
Well, she's in another game. Everybody needs to, by the way, that's the link for the next session. So that'll be the link that you guys join to start the next module.
Okay.
All right.
By the way, Chris, I realized that Pelor wasn't one of the gods in this area. So
yes.
I redid my character. She's still a cleric, but she's not a life domain anymore. She's Dragonborn. So maybe our characters won't be carbon copies anymore.
Cool. So what does that mean?
I'm sorry?
What does the Dragonborn
Dragonborn is a race.
from domain wise? You said you're
Oh,
not
domain.
life.
She's a Tempest cleric, which is like storms and electricity and stuff.
It's the best.
I would tend to disagree.
How many write-ups did you do, Blinkshaw?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Because I realized
5,
I was
6,
adding them
7.
to my Google Drive at some point, but I must
I
have...
have all of mine in my Google Drive. Actually, I can share that.